That looks right. I think so. All right. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to Phandelver and Below the Shattered Obelisk, episode number 31. Man, this campaign's just trucking along. We're at we're almost at the half a year's worth of campaign stuff here as we kind of fill out this for the rest of the year. It'll be, we got holidays and stuff coming up, so who knows what the consistency will be over the next couple of weeks, but we will see. But we're going to dive back into a, base campaign session here, and I'll kind of run us through what happened last time. And then we can just go ahead and figure out exactly what the party is going to do. Because we talked about it ahead of time, but they also could just totally throw me a curveball, and who really knows in the end. But last time, the party made their way back to Phandalin after dealing with the goblins inside of Zorzula's Rest, and found out that there were some interesting things going on in the town of Phandalin. Some people had gone missing. There was rumors of strange happenings and things going on in the town. And they learned more about the information that they gathered from the map they found in Zorzula's Rest. Took it to Gwen Orsong, and she kind of walked them through what the different locations meant, or at least what she had information on, before retiring to the Stonehill Tavern, learning that Pip, the son of the Stonehills, he had wandered off and hadn't come back. Supposed to come back before the streetlights came on. He wasn't back. Party needed to go figure out what was going on, and as such, found some strange creatures called Encephalon Gemules, which are a weird triangular pyramid creature with tentacles and eyeballs. And anyway, they're weird. They kind of look like strange gummy creatures bouncing around. And the party ended up taking care of those in a paladin of Dumathoin's house, and found some more information, his diary about the history of what had happened when he went to try and clear out Talhundereth, which is a temple that once was dedicated to Dumathoin that had a crypt underneath it. He unfortunately encountered and was injured badly with quote, roiling heaps of tentacles before he made his way back and succumbed to his wounds. I don't know what
Succumbed
to his wounds.
Succumbed just
They
sounds
both,
like
none of them sound good is the point here. Anyway, he died from tentacle death. I know what I
He
said.
succumbed, all right.
He did.
tentacle death.
And we learned a lot about Bronson's backstory and his various endeavors for selling self-help books in the past.
Bronson's helped a lot of people succumb.
He has, apparently.
So many people succumbed after.
Yeah, that's true. And the party also dealt with Daisy the cow, a strange tentacled weird creature cow with also that threw up 4 psychic gray oozes that the party ended up defeating in the center of town before Daisy just kind of walked off like it was nothing.
But Daisy's fine. That's what we love.
Yes, Daisy ended up she ate something she shouldn't have, threw it up, and the party defeated the weird psychic creatures in her stomach that came out of her stomach. And then she just wandered off back to the farm where she was from. And as such, the party was working with the folks in the town as well as the various goblins the Sopley goblins that they freed from Ruxathid's sort of rule, to work on developing formal official housing for themselves within the town, aka the Bastion system, which is going to get underway. But most importantly, potentially, we'll see, was Gable going off by himself to look into the cache under the tree and making some questionable decisions regarding a blade involving inserting the blade into himself in his chest. Almost,
I feel targeted right now.
I mean,
Barely.
you chose to have the solo moment, and then also chose to almost kill yourself.
I was just curious.
So
what would
yeah, I
happen.
feel like it would be quite literally targeting you because that's
Whatever.
well, the rest of the party had a bunch of drinks. And thankfully, due to some outside intervention, Gable didn't end up dying by himself alone, and the party didn't have to come find his body, which would have been quite the somber morning after a pretty successful trip. And so the party now has, after everybody getting rest, sleeping off the drinks and whatnot, we will come back here into the next morning in the familiar surroundings of the Stonehill Tavern, which you now have permanent payment from rescuing Pip. Toblin has given you free room and board as long as you need it, especially now that we know you're building your own location and your own housing. You're allowed to stay there for free without question until such time that you no longer need to. So you can have all the pine nuts and acorns you want. So
Let's go.
yeah, we'll bring us here to the next morning. What is the plan? What's everybody up to?
Gable spent the evening securing the fell blade to its sheath.
Okay.
Until such a time when he will need it.
Okay.
He will then retrieve it. But until then, like, he is specifically choosing to just stick with like a regular dagger and the dagger of venom.
Okay.
That experience with the fell blade was very scary for him. So, after feeling secure enough that he's like tied the hilt of the blade to the sheath itself multiple times so that it will stay sheathed.
And this is going in a backpack, I assume, not like
yes.
out. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But he will, re-equip just a standard dagger with the dagger of venom on his belt and just sort of, all right, it's fine. And sort of slip on that mask of Gable and sort of swing the door wide open. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Doing well. Yeah. Got a little tipsy last night, but I'm feeling good to go.
Delightful.
Yeah, well, we've got a big day. I figure it's about time to head back out on the road. We've got places to go and stones to find.
Wonderful. Did you tell your lover yet? Gotcha. And he's gonna like
somebody's chipper. That walk must have done really good for him.
Bronson has prepared a adventurer's breakfast. Getting up early, I have done pour over coffee for everybody in a nice 18-ounce. Got that extra, the hodl, and I have a fresh Stroop waffle on all of them that has perfectly steamed on top and got nice and melty. And I've taken the time to cut up some fresh Goodberry and put it over the top of some really good Greek yogurt, and have that all arranged for everybody with their own specific I Heart Phandelver mug.
I love it.
Nice.
Soot has not come downstairs yet.
Bro, I hate you. I had Chinese food tonight and it was delicious, but now it seems less delicious when you describe that shit.
Cujo ate a bowl of Cheerios and ate a pot pie. We're all living vicarious.
Oh man, I had breakfast for dinners. I had waffles and bacon, so that makes me feel like I did the right choice then.
That's fair. That's fair.
Honestly, that's always the right answer. But
I had French toast.
Okay, so we're thinking Team Saiyan Brain over here.
Yeah, there we go.
French toast.
French toast. What? It was irrelevant. I wasn't going to mention it, but here we are.
We got a long
Gable,
travels ahead of us. Whoever's inside this little kind of common area.
Gable, in a complete departure from like the last several days, is like, ooh, like starts eating. And you're like, I can't taste any of it, but I assume it's delicious. Wonderfully done.
No,
He'll
it's good.
keep the coffee mug in his hand.
Bronson's having that bit of ADHD hyper focus on getting ready for the adventure. So the minute that everybody comes down and starts enjoying the creature comforts there, I'm going to make sure that Clarence and the rest of the horses all have honey and oats. Like he's out there, he's ready to go. He is dad with the light windbreaker on. Like
Okay.
You check the air in the tires.
100%. He is ready to adventure today.
I should also point out for chat, because obviously there's a lot of things that seemingly are going much different this morning. We have a chipper Gable, we have a Bronson ready to go, and there were a lot of reveals that people were unaware of as far as backstory things that came out last session as to how certain people are tied in and related to one another, which I think seemingly to me seems like put a little bit more of a fire under Bronson to let's keep everything going here. We learned a little bit, or Bronson and Robert learned a little bit about Reese and Gable, so I think that was definitely an interesting turn of events.
Yep. He's keeping himself occupied today.
I like it.
Idle hands, idle hands.
So what is going on with Soot at the moment?
I think she's still just up in her room. I mean, she was drinking last night, so maybe she's recovering.
While you're recovering, I will say you hear like a little like tick, 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 tick on the window.
Hello?
And you can see outside the glass window is what looks like a paper crane, just like with its little beak like ticking on the window.
Oh, she opens the window and puts her hands up for the crane to
and
pop in.
Flies into your hands and it unfolds into a letter.
What does it say?
And it says, Soot, comma, and it's written in a pretty kind of quick scrawled hand. But it says, wasn't really sure if your friend, didn't know your friend that well, but they asked us to look into some things. And we thought this might be of interest to them. And then there's a second sheet of paper. I said, we intercepted this in our air quotes or quotes business. We thought he might find it interesting, and it's just signed the brothers. And there's a second sheaf of paper that is looks to be some sort of official note that says it's basically a military sort of, or like court issued order of transfer, and it is transfer of one Gloria from Neverwinter to Waterdeep for processing and to basically to hold court, to be brought in for trial, essentially.
Neverwinter to Waterdeep?
Yes, which again, if we're looking at the grand scheme of the world of the Sword Coast from where we are, Neverwinter is several days ride north of Phandelver, and Waterdeep is several days ride south of Phandelver.
Oh.
And I'll give you this, that the timeline of this, based on what is written on the transfer notice, is that in the transfer is set to happen in about, say, 10 days from now. Is when they're supposed to set out,
initiated.
When they'll be leaving Waterdeep with her to drive her, basically to cart her down to Waterdeep for trial.
Okay. Let me remind myself if Soot knows anything about this.
Mm. So I mean, at the very least, you would know that while at the dinner party,
Yeah.
there was the conversation about like, hey, if you guys will give
Yeah.
us, if you find anything
Yeah.
of interest, we'd love to hear about it, and we can work out whatever's going to happen with payment and things, or we'll let's work together.
It says your companion, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So take that. Which
Yeah.
companion you? I don't know, but
Okay.
way these
Yeah,
work is they function essentially like the sending spell, but instead of being limited to 25 words that happens instantaneously, the bird flies to the person. Obviously, if it gets destroyed en route, it gets destroyed en route.
Yeah.
But it functions like a letter, and it can be as long as you want it to be, as long as it can fold up and make the flight. So, potentially also, it's written, so you could obviously cipher things if you wanted to or not.
Yeah.
Whereas the sending spell is 25 words with an immediate response. This, it is also a one-time use. Once it arrives, it is there. Like the magic
Yeah.
of the item is gone, but you have the writing.
Yeah. Okay. Soot takes it, folds it, and then she sits on her bed. She starts thinking. She's gonna spend some time thinking about this. She's gonna write in her journal.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of you are all downstairs getting prepped to leave. And Soot is still upstairs in a room.
I think I'm going to try another one of those mushrooms to see if I can get another sense of taste back. At some point, maybe not today, but at some point, I would very much like to taste sweet again. If I'm begging for one particular sensation, it's that.
Yes, yeah, what a thing to lose. But I mean, yeah, during travel is probably not the best time. Next time we're in town, though.
Yes, of course. It would be exciting. I hope my days of drinking pure lemon juice to get some sort of flavor are behind me at that point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh God,
Yeah.
never thought of it that way.
It.
No?
Bronson, what was you all right?
Of course, I'm fine.
Are you putting on a voice? What's happening?
It's that lemon juice. It cleared him up for a minute.
Oh, yeah,
Right for the vocal cords.
Just completely wiped me out. That was. You must have been those pine nuts. Oh, excuse me.
Huh. Can I insight check Bronson?
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
I mean, fuck it, right? Why not?
Sure.
Insight check Robert. Because
Yeah,
he
that's
forgot his voice for a minute. Easy to do.
I was sorry. I was so immersed getting these oats together and breakfast. I got a little bit of my dad voice. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 19. I don't know if it matters. I was just curious as to what was happening there.
Robert was multitasking, and you'll understand in a minute.
We fair. Also were off last week, so there was a week in between.
Entirely fair.
Oh no, this is definitely this. You'll understand it a little bit. Don't worry.
All right.
Well, whatever. So, where is the lady of the hour? Is she joining us? Was there a midnight tryst that happened when we were all in our rooms, perhaps?
I don't know.
Yeah. I believe you.
My
If
favorite
there's one
is,
thing I
I
know
don't know,
about you,
maybe.
Bishop, is that you
I wasn't
is that
there.
you are painfully honest about some of these things.
Well, if you ask me a question, I figure I should just tell the truth. It's better than lying.
Ugh, it's
Well,
so boring.
it's so easy, though.
Yes, it's boring but easy.
Well,
I
there
wasn't
you go.
disagreeing with you.
Yeah, it could be both.
Hmm.
All right. Well, we're all ready to go. Someone should maybe go get her.
You know what? I'll get her. I feel like I rarely visit Soot in her room, so I'll just go and say hi, see how she's doing, and then we'll be down in a jiffy.
All right, sounds good.
Hmm.
I'm gonna sit outside and play my harp. Poorly.
Outside Soot's room or outside the tavern?
Outside the
Okay,
tavern.
just checking. Hey,
Yes, I would like a musical entourage to join me to go and get Soot.
Clink, clink, clink.
I mean, it.
How embarrassing.
Hot cross buns.
I
Da,
mean,
da,
would you
da,
like to
da,
make a performance check for your
Yeah, sure.
harping?
Why not? I'll hop a little. Let's see. 9. I can't play hot cross buns well.
Your
No.
voice just says in your mind, "What did I do wrong?"
Oh no, poor Clarence.
I put the harp away.
All right.
Everybody's a critic.
Uh, yeah, especially when they're your completely controlled mount that you resummoned just to be sure. Um,
Oh, I love it so much. But yeah, I will do a little fun little power walk up to Soot's door and just knock very lightly. Soot, darling, the sun is up. We are prepared for the travel. Bronson made us some wonderful breakfast. Are you awake?
Yes. The voice is very weird.
All right. Are you in the middle of something?
No, come on in.
Oh, well, all right. And he'll slowly open the door and sort of peek his head in.
So as you peek your head in, you see that Soot is kind of standing in front of a mirror, piece of parchment, kind of in one hand, and like clearly kind of clocks and notices you walking into the room, but isn't really focused on you. Is just kind of in the process staring in the mirror, and you watch as she is kind of just. You never really come and visit in her room as we've discussed, but she's kind of just cycling through visages, right? Almost like a practice thing, like standing in the mirror, you watch as you've got Soot in the form that you know, and then like cycling through, you see kind of one of the kind of tabaxi forms that you've seen her take when she curls up to go to sleep, and then there's and every even while this is happening, different instances are like maybe the ears will of that tabaxi will shift, and maybe they'll have tufts on the end, and the striping pattern will change, and it seems like it's very methodically just kind of practicing your craft, if you will. And she's cycling through. You see a couple of these things again. There's Soot. There's down to like a gnome size, and back up to like a dragonborn or a lizard folk, whatever it is. But what's odd is as she's kind of, and it's I'm describing it slowly because that's how long it takes to describe. But for you visually seeing this, it is much faster. It is just like shift and shift and shift and shift, just because it's a thing you can do at your free will, just to kind of go through the motions, prep different kind of personas. You never know what you're going to get yourself into, and you've seen her take on various different forms over time. And one of these, your heart stops for just like a split second as one of these forms is a form that you know very well, and it is that form one of those last forms that you saw before you before everything kind of went black, and it is that form of what you know Silva to look like on that day, the memory that you have. And it's there, and you see her appear. And again, it's not you're in the room, but we're focused on the mirror. That form happens, and then it's very shortly after onto another form.
Gable, like as he's opening the door, like, oh, we don't want your coffee to get cold.
Sorry, love. What do you think? I'm trying out some new things.
Huh. I am impressed watching you go through your morning ritual. I didn't realize how much focus that must take.
Well, you do it enough, it just happens. It's
Hmm.
lovely. And sometimes I try out new things, like new noses or faces, or just so I can have something to turn naturally into.
Hmm. Now, are these forms that you've adopted ones that you've seen before?
Sometimes I take things from other people and add them in if I like the cut of a chin or something such. But most of the time, it's just an amalgamation from different things.
Hmm. There was one in particular, an elf, an elven form, right towards the end there. It's sort of a curious, sort of different form to take. Just curious. Have you seen that person around?
Oh, and she switches back to that form. This one?
Yes. Have you seen that person around in particular? I'm just sort of curious on how long, the sort of memory of this form would last.
No, this is kind of just like a mix between a couple different elves I've seen. I think. I mean, I just kind of put things together sometimes just to try
Hmm.
something new.
I
You
would like to
know,
insight check.
Gable, this is without, I mean, insight check, sure, but this appearance, this like, this is too much of a coincidence to be like, this is
Mhm.
spot on. This
Mhm.
visage is ingrained in your brain as one of the, like, this look, this appearance, the way the hair is done, the everything is just burnt permanently into your brain.
I got a 27 on my insight.
Soot is being genuine. She doesn't know like this is to her this is something new. Like she's
Mhm.
never seen this before.
Interesting. Well, I like that look. It's quite pleasing. I would recommend, though, maybe switching up the hairstyle a little bit. I do also. I'm such a fan of auburn hair. Bright blonde hair like that is beautiful, but somewhat eye-catching. And if you're trying to be sly and not as noticeable, I believe auburn is rather.
You think on an elf? I was going for high elf.
Hmm. Hmm. Your wood elves tend to be less eye-catching. High elves are quite the attention grabbers, and
True. Well, that's kind of
also,
the point. It's like a distraction, you know?
hmm,
Ooh, she's beautiful.
yes. Well, there is one other thing, and that is the visage of Gloria. And if you revealed that to Bishop, I feel that there might be some stress.
The, really?
Yes,
She
to a
quickly switches
T.
back to Soot.
Hmm. It's fine, darling. I trust you. You didn't know.
How
I'm
is that
curious.
possible?
I am asking the same questions myself, but I am electing to not uh, let the anxiety following seeing that face
Oh, I'm so
grip
sorry.
me.
I didn't even
No,
think
no, no,
about
no, no,
that.
darling,
Oh.
darling, darling. No, 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 no. And he'll like approach and like place his paws like on her arms, like, you are fine. And then he'll like retract. I should have asked for consent for something like that.
Okay.
Hey, right. You're fine. I trust you. It's just curious, is all. And my my night was rather strange, so I'm a bit all over the place. But please don't stress. I know you didn't mean to do that. I suppose I'm just
Yeah.
curious. That's all.
No, I mean,
No
I
harm,
don't.
no foul, my dear.
Okay. All right. I don't know why that form would come then. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize, darling. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't know, and you are left with just as much curiosities as I do, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You're perfectly fine. It's just err on the side of caution around
Yeah. No, I won't
Bishop.
take that form again.
Well, I mean, your choices are your own, but just please, you're fine. I didn't mean to cause awkwardness.
No, you're fine. I mean, obviously that would be something really weird to see.
But we are going to put this all behind us. We have a wonderful travel today. Bronson made some fantastic, I think they're waffles. There's some sort of pastry, and a wonderfully large coffee.
Oh,
Something I
okay,
would
good.
love to taste again one day.
Oh, we'll get you there.
Yes, it would be wonderful. But yes, when you are ready, we are just downstairs.
Yeah. I'm. She has the letter in her hand and she's like stuffs it in her bag. I'm ready.
Perfect. Well, right this way, and he'll hold his arm out like a
She
gentleman.
pops her hand in it.
As he's walking, there's this very small, just a little bit of a calming breath as they make their way downstairs to the common area.
Do you
All
want to
right.
talk about your night?
Oh, oh, uh, at some point, sure.
Okay.
Uh, we don't need to worry about it right now. Let's get on the road and see where the trail takes us.
Okay.
All right. Well, Bronson and Bishop, as you've put away your harp, as you guys
Mhm.
are all outside getting ready, you guys again, and Bronson in a very chipper mood this morning. Bishop is Bishop, so kind of always kind of happy, and then you've got uh I don't know. You guys are both very good at quite literally either putting on masks or changing your appearance. When you guys step out into where everybody else is outside getting ready, is there a noticeable, because that was a lot of weirdness that just happened. What are we looking like here? How uh strong is this mask that we're wearing here?
Gable was already sort of pushing it,
Uh-huh.
and now it's very clearly a he's here, yay! Like, it's a pretty clear and slightly awkward expression on Gable's face.
So it is very much like, hi.
All right, guys, you ready to go? I don't usually have coffee in the morning, so I'm absolutely wired. Let's do this.
This coffee is great.
Thank you.
Truly delicious, I assume.
Mm.
Mm,
Please don't take that as an insult. I would very much love to taste coffee again.
mm. Yeah, no, kind of
Not at
bitter, but
all.
like in a good way. It's like just how it goes. I'm loving it.
All right.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hmm.
So, I guess, yeah. All right. I love just everybody's ready to go. There's no questions about the awkwardness. The only thing I will say that the three of you will notice, just because it's been a present kind of almost staple feature of Gable's kit, is that the fell blade, which is striking in its appearance and what it looks like, is nowhere visibly equipped, if you will. Just take that as you will. But if everybody's ready to go, I guess we can set out for, well, wherever it is you want to go.
Yes,
Right.
indeed. Well, looking at our map, I think we should head back straight up the Tribord Trail, and from there we could, I don't know. Well, everything's underground, so we have to find some way underneath the ground. But Do we know if Talhundereth is maybe a little bit, maybe a good first stop?
Is that a question for me or is it a question for the party?
That's a question in general.
Yeah, sounds great.
Sounds delightful.
All right.
Your
Well
lead,
then.
my buddy.
All right, Clarence, away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will remind you all just once more as kind of a once over in case everybody's forgot it's been a couple weeks that Gibbet Crossing was they're all subterranean as you have pointed
Right.
out was a crossroads previously where various underdark races used to kind of exist in like an uneasy peace. We're talking Drow, Dwergar, Svirfneblin would all kind of interact there. And it was kind of like a hub of business and trade and things where you kind of get that uneasy peacefulness of like we all have things that we want to trade here, so it's in our best interest to stay civil so we can exchange the goods we want to exchange. It did, however, unfortunately kind of fall into disarray and now is essentially filled with monsters now. And then again, the other locations, Talhundereth being a sort of that temple to Doomathoin, and then you have um, the sort of other crypt below it, the crypt of Talhund beneath it. And basically, the Mind Flayers kind of screwed everything up for everybody, and all of these locations are overrun, and that's why why none of the goblins or anybody else has achieved those 3 last obelisk pieces that they were looking for, and also why nobody has ever gone back there because it seemed too big a task to clear, by any one person. And that our good buddy Marthengrim tried unsuccessfully to do so.
Mhm.
So they're all relatively close. So setting out that direction, not a problem. Wherever you guys can kind of, I guess, make that call when you sort of splinter off the trail and head that direction.
All right.
How many nights rest is it?
So what do we say? Each hex is 5 miles, right? And
Mhm.
we're in the wonderful world of 2024, which has, I think, different rules for travel, if I recall. Which I will tell you.
Every
You've got the
mile you
books.
must take a long rest.
Yes, every time.
Your cardio is
Mhm.
terrible.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Travel pace.
What have you done?
It's
What
around
has
here
he
somewhere. Anyway, go ahead. What you got there for me?
done?
Robert and I are fighting. What are we doing? Where are we going? It's fine. Everything's fine, chat.
Sure, that's
Potato, potato around here.
Well then. Hmm.
It's about 140 miles.
yeah,
take the
if
road?
you're traveling, okay, I found it. If you're traveling at a fast pace, which I don't see any. So the 2024 rules for fast-paced travel is disadvantage on perception and survival checks, which you're not really looking to track anything, so I don't see any need for that. And and disadvantage on stealth checks, which again, currently you're not looking to go with any kind of expediency here, or stealthiness rather. That you could travel 30 miles in a day is what it says is normal travel pace. Let's see. If you're traveling with horses, which you are, you can travel twice the distance. And you know what? It'll just be easier if we lock it into 30 miles a day with resting horses and watering and everything. So we'll
And
say,
we only have 3 horses, right? So 2 of us always ride together.
yeah.
Do we have 3 horses?
I know you have at least one. I know you got Clarence. That's the one I know about.
Why?
You guys
Yeah.
tell me.
What was
I
that?
had a
I think our other horse's name was Buster.
That
I had
sounds
a
right.
horse named Chan.
Now there we go. There's our 3 horses. Yep, Horses,
DM,
Buster, Clarence, and Chan.
Uh-huh.
if there's a possibility of procuring a riding boar at some
Ooh.
point in time, I would love to fulfill my fantasy of riding the largest pig that I can in and around town.
Um uh
Could it
yeah.
be an offspring of the thunderboar? Like it's a couple generations tamed from its time running rampant, and we have a tame thunderboar.
Okay. Okay.
Just sneezes electricity every once in a
Just a
while.
little too much static electricity every now and then.
Okay.
Bronson's hair slowly going insane.
Okay. Well, where better to find said mount than on the Tribor Trail?
Mm-hmm,
Let's
Right.
go.
So
Let's go.
we can. I'll tell you what. If you want to take some time to look for said creature along the trail, we could do that.
That's fine.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So you set out, you make your way, you do that little kind of small hex crawl to the trail itself. Nothing going on there. As you set off on your way on the trail proper here, um, I feel like survival, animal handling, take your pick.
Let's see here.
Nature, maybe, if that's any
We
one of
got
those feels right.
we got a lot of good of these. Survival for sure.
Let's do it.
Survey says 25.
25 is pretty good. I will say with relative ease, maybe as though it was destined to happen, who knows. You are able to find what are the chances that as you wander in this tall grass, you just get into this encounter with exactly the creature you're looking for?
Bishop, silence.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
Get the
me?
Pokeball.
I could have sworn the last time I heard this thing was when that thunderboar was running around this country. All right, hey, I
Okay,
don't
I'm
feel
not
like
being
getting
loud.
electrocuted today.
And there it is in the clearing as you sort of shift into frame from far away. It shifts in from the opposite side. You see this not quite the true imposing figure of the thunderboar, the one and seemingly only, but perhaps slightly on the smaller side than the original, a little less blue in its appearance, a little less crackling lightning everywhere. But there's definitely a note of recognition that this is in fact somehow related to this creature.
The rest of the group may not know Bronson's county fair past,
Mhm.
but
Ooh.
there's a lot of reverence for livestock and blue ribbon animals and wrestling a good pig.
I mean, this is some pig, without a doubt.
Whoa.
Gotta break these like a wild stallion, all right? I've
I
had
don't
my
know what
eye
we're.
out on. I've been wanting a riding boar for a while. It just kind of fits my stature a little bit better. I
Yeah,
don't have
yeah.
to, I don't have to go up as high. A dwarf my size taking a fall off of a horse like Clarence could be deadly.
Absolutely. Yeah, but he does like you.
I like Clarence too. I just, we'll get into that later.
All right,
Ah,
should we wrestle up this boar then?
I'm gonna pull out like it's not just a single good berry. It
Mm,
is the pomegranate cluster
okay.
of a super good berry. So I have literally 4 clusters together that have fused because sometimes that spell goes off and you're not even expecting it, and the good berries just cluster together. And
What are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
do?
roll my animal handling as I am going to. All right, come here.
Ooh, I'll give you bardic inspiration on that.
Piggy.
Plus D6.
Oh, bardic inspiration. Let's go. I'm gonna roll my animal handling.
All right.
You could even do guidance.
You could even guide yourself on this one. You might have to.
Let's let's do it. let's roll an additional D4. And what's your bardic inspiration die right now?
Just a D6.
Oh, we'll put a D6 on that. So we're 15. Now 17.
Okay. Okay. That is pretty good. Oh, I have some dice right here. How about that? This one kind of looks like it's electrified. Let's go with this one. Okay. So describe to me narratively your plan to tame this thunderboar descendant here. You've got your good berry. You're sneaking up. You made your animal handling check. I will tell you, it failed horribly on its roll against you. So this is a narrative option. Describe to me what this looks like, how this works.
I'm gonna coax that thunderboar into the cluster. I'm gonna be eyeing him up as I can see it. It's bristled up. You know, this thing, it's got some gnarly tusks in the front. This thing could mess me up if it came out of charge. But I'm gonna slowly, all right. Hold on, thunderboar. And I can see a little bit of that static electricity run off the back. And I can know, telltale, this thing is a wild descendant of the legendary thunderboar. All right. Proceed with caution, Bronson. You've done this before. And I'm going to extend my hand out. And once it starts nibbling on the good berry, that's when I'm slowly going to go for the most awkward Bronson roll over onto the top of it that I can.
Okay. I like it. Let's see. I'll give you this at advantage. You got this thing kind of.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. And I will give myself guidance.
Yeah, of course you will.
Oh, God. Is that a
Wow.
cocked dice? No. It was almost double threes.
That is a 22. So, yeah, you are 23. You are able to kind of do, you say awkward.
Bronson
but
does a barrel roll.
It does a barrel roll right onto the back of this thing. Currently, you are riding this thing without a reins or a saddle, but you're on it. And it seems it hasn't bucked you off immediately here.
If we've identified anything else, Bronson is very confident and proficient in bareback. And
I knew it was coming. I knew it. As soon as I said it and just started to go down that road, I knew we were going to get there.
And I'm just gonna give it a little sidekick. I'm gonna try to I'm at this point, I'm not even trying to do anything else. I've been so smooth. I'm just gonna try to do a little giddy up over to the rest of the group. Good piggy. And in ode to TikTok and America's favorite pig, Lucky, passing away over the last couple weeks. I'm gonna call you Lucky.
I like it. So, here's how this is going to work. Right now, this boar is in the moment on Team Bronson. I am going to give you, over the course of as we continue to, well, one, let me ask you this. Do you anticipate you riding Lucky into combat?
No, I want Lucky to be a narrative boar.
Okay.
A narrative boar, of course.
Yeah, I like my animals too much to go in. Lucky's already had a hard life in IRL, so we want this Lucky to eat good berries, live long, and prosper.
Okay, then I will give you not today, as today is pretty much locked in. You will have one more on the subsequent day after a long rest attempt to essentially quell the wild nature of the beast. And if you succeed tomorrow, Lucky is secured as a narrative boar. Were we to push us into combat territory, that is a little bit harder for any kind of creature to deal with. You're usually raised from, birth to be in the service as like a war horse or something like that. So we would have to add a couple more. But because it's just a narrative boar, we're good to go.
This man's going to live fat and happy back on the farm.
All right.
His combat days are done in the brush. He doesn't have to fight anymore. That's right. Do you, Lucky?
So,
Clarence, don't look at him.
I come out, I'm doing that. It's that country boy laugh.
mhm. You guys see an
Well-
elated Bronson on his hair kind of as there's little bits of roiling static electricity along this large, vaguely bluish boar that he's riding.
All right, just like that. Good job, man.
Wow.
Impressive. Quite
Leyland boy
impressive.
can't survive. A Leyland boy can't survive.
Uh-huh. What's his name?
Oh, what's that?
What's his name?
I'm gonna call him Lucky.
Hi, Lucky. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, shocking.
Yeah.
He's very adorable. Quite.
I had a pet pig truffle hunter growing up, and pigs have always been close to my heart.
Yes, well,
Mhm.
And now
That's-
close to your groin.
Well, that's one way to. Whoa, hey, Lucky! Ah! I'm gonna take
Aw.
off for it a little bit.
All right.
Okay. Oh, mounting back up.
All right.
Alright,
So
here
you
we go.
guys continue on for the better part of the day, till we arrive at the evening after around 30 or so total miles traveled. Anything of note for this evening?
You guys mind if I let Red sit out for a while?
No, do you think?
Okay. Be right
Um,
back. I mean, I'll be back later, but
Yeah.
Don't ever have
She
to ask
was-
my permission.
All
she
right.
was off into the woods, light some shit on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Make some good soil for growing something else.
There you go.
And then Red Soot comes out from the forest. Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
No.
We're just
Should I
getting
get
dinner
them?
ready.
Right. Is there anything I can do to help?
We
Do you
could
want?
use help on some fires, actually.
Oh,
Of course.
Yeah.
mm,
Bishop,
mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to work on these French potatoes I've heard so much about. I got some good beef stock over here.
Okay.
You want to give me a hand with these things? I'm going to start
Y-
carving up some scalloped potatoes, as I've seen that recipe on everything the last 2 weeks, and it's driving me insane.
Mm.
Of them
Okay.
reducing and roasting and reducing and roasting, and buttering and spending like 3 hours on scalloped potatoes, which sounds divine.
Mm.
Well, that's such a long time to cook for trail dinner, but okay. All right.
We got a
Hey.
lot of time on the Tribord Trail. Had the perfect bed of caramelized onions laid
Mhm.
down in the Dutch oven, and we can just get to spend some time, carving up some taters.
Okay, that sounds good. I got no problem with that. Can we perhaps do some sort of a sour flavor to go along with this?
Ooh,
Maybe do like a lemon chicken or something?
herb lemon chicken would be awesome. Yeah, yeah. We can do foil packet method, or I can carve up. We got a little bit of this fresh produce ready over here. We can carve up some slices and lay them down with the herbs, and let them simmer all up in it. I got we got some fresh cream here. As he pulls out that 1 pound of like freshly churned butter that's always ready to go.
Mm.
Get ready,
All
Chad,
right,
because
perfect. Yeah,
it's dinner time. So.
it's dinner time,
Comes the
baby.
food porn.
Uh-huh.
Mm. All right, I'm gonna make a lemon hibiscus tea as well to go along with this.
Ooh.
So
Red Soot pulls Gable aside while they're cooking.
go for it.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry about earlier.
Well, I should say the other you didn't seem to know.
Yes, that is curious. She shouldn't.
And do you?
I do. I've seen all of them. Remember
A
in the
mirror.
cave? No, when you
Oh,
fought them.
I was really hoping you all didn't see that. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Uh, I suppose at some point, if these compatriots of ours and yourself choose to, we'll be seeing them in person sometime. And I'm
Yes.
sure that will be quite an experience as well. So, it's fine.
Speaking of, I've received a letter from the siblings. Remember, as I said, the s- what are their names?
We
I
know
just
who.
said the brothers.
Yeah.
The Bramblebush siblings.
Oh, yes, the rambunctious ones with some connections.
Yes, they sent me a message. Soot didn't know what to do with it because I didn't tell her that we had talked to them. Guess that was brief. It seems that Gloria is being moved soon.
Interesting. Where would she be moved?
She's being moved from Neverwinter down to Waterdeep for a trial in 10 days.
That is. I assume that they are most likely taking the high road, unless they're smart and took a different route. Interesting. Why are you telling me this?
Don't you want to know?
Well, yes, but I trust that whatever communication you have had with other Soot, are you both on board with what it is that I need to do when I find them?
I think if given the right motivation, Soot could be convinced of this. However, if Bishop knows, that will not happen. I'm not saying that this is something for sure that we are going to do. The two of us. The one of us, whatever. But I thought I'd present the information to you, and you can decide to do with it what you like. It's your revenge quest.
Did they say when?
10 days from when this letter was sent.
When was? Is there any particular date on when that letter
It
was
will
sent?
just say, for all intents and purposes, from the date of the letter, which was like today, essentially,
Okay.
or yesterday, to 10 days from your current day.
Mm.
The trek will start from
Mm-hmm.
Neverwinter down to Waterdeep, which is also, once that starts, assuming they're traveling at like a fast pace, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably going to be about like a day and a half before they meet the point where the Tribor Trail intersects with the high road. Assuming that's where, if you are going to deal with that and you want to meet them there,
Mm-hmm.
that would be that time. So, like 21 and a half days from now or so
Mm-hmm.
would be the time where they're passing there. Obviously, you have if you were to look at the map of the Sword Coast, you have a long spot between before they get from Neverwinter down to Waterdeep. You don't know how they're traveling. That's the other thing. You don't know what kind
Mm-hmm.
of outfit it is. You just know that they're being moved from
Mm-hmm.
there. Also, we're going to say that the brothers are intelligent enough that if this was just going to be like magical teleportation, they would have
Mm-hmm.
told you that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So this seems as though it's some form of mundane travel.
Okay.
Oh, and obviously, if they were going to take a boat, I think they would have told you it was going to be by boat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it seems like it's overland travel.
Now, what I will tell you is that I can tell Soot that this is something that must remain a secret, and she will believe me.
Interesting.
That is something I would do for you.
Keep it a secret for now. Until I can get a handle on where my thoughts are going, let's not act on any of this until, say, after we explore a little further and I have a little bit more time to center myself. Will that be all
Yes.
right?
That's fine with me. Again, it's not my revenge quest.
Thank you. Well, this has been a wonderful little meeting. Thank you so much. Your assistance is immeasurable.
Of course. Would you like to keep the letter?
I would, if possible.
It's in my bag.
All right. And he'll again affix that charming, you know, ostentatious personality of Gable and head back to camp with Red Soot.
All right.
Retsit goes in her bag and pulls out the journal, sits down and begins to write for a moment
Mm.
for helping with dinner.
And
Alright.
as they're all working on dinner, Gable's going to take that opportunity to grab the letter.
Sure. You have
I
the
can
letter.
roll a stealth check if you would like.
I feel like these guys are real focused on these potatoes right now.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right.
So, Bishop,
Mm-hmm.
I know I give you a lot of hell about being from Luskin, but everybody misses something about home.
Sure.
What do you miss about being away from Luskin on the
Oh man.
adventurer's trail?
Yeah, no, I miss my family, man. You know, I've got what, 8 siblings. So there's it was a full house every day. I miss my mom's cooking. I miss hanging out on the back porch with my dad and, sharing a cigar. I miss a lot of
Are,
things.
are you sure you're not part dwarf? Give the solid elbow.
Mm.
Not enough
Sounds a
facial
lot like
hair.
home.
Hey, there's good stuff everywhere, my man.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. And I have had some damn good fish and chips up there. It's one thing y'all do get right.
Well, the seafood is great. It's fresh. Same day.
Indeed. Are you more of a wet batter guy or you cornmeal?
It depends on the fish, doesn't it?
Largely, yeah.
I'd
Well,
say
what's
I'd
your
say
favorite?
well, my mom when we were younger, fish is cheap and there were a lot of us, but yeah, she would do a wet battered cod and just a little sprinkle of lemon, which was kind
Oh,
of a delicacy, or
uh,
lemongrass when that wasn't available. And she did these spinach puffs with it. Oh, so good.
spinach puffs. Well, you know, uh, some point in time when we're adventuring farther north, I think you ought to check back in. I wouldn't mind getting treated to a Luskin fish fry.
Absolutely. No, and her desserts are divine. You think I bake well? I mean, she puts me to shame.
After all, somebody from Leyland has to go in there and drink all that beer that y'all have left over up there.
Well, the music scene is hot, so we could go out, have a night on the town,
How does
even
that
crash
work
at my
out? You
parents' house.
you do have a better indie music scene than down south. Why is that? It's
Think there's a lot of criminals, so we end up bringing in a lot of
true.
different types of folk.
How does one such innocents as yourself, Bishop, come from such an awful place. It's truly
It's not. It's not as bad as you seem to think it is.
that's
It's a nice city. It
you
used to
know,
be bad, but that was a generation ago. It's gentrified, my man.
you're gonna have to convince this country mouse otherwise. I can tell you
Well,
that. Fish and chips alone isn't gonna do it, but a good sea shanty, some ale, maybe I can be convinced, not to fuskin so hard.
well, you're entitled to your opinion, and I'll be happy to change it.
You're the best thing that's ever come out of there. So it's about time I maybe change my ways and get a different opinion. Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we could stop by my sister's bakery. I mean, there are tons of things that we
Your
could
sister
do.
has a bakery.
Yes, indeed, she
We're
does.
mi- we've been missing out on pies this whole time.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, Luskin's kind of far away, and actually, technically, I'm not allowed to go home right now. But aside
Oh,
from that, it'd be great.
well, that's another conversation. We got a couple more potatoes. What do you mean you
Sure.
can't? What do you mean you can't go home?
Well, so technically, I'm supposed to be laying low in well, Leyland originally, but then we got the job to go to Phandelver. But yeah, no, I'm technically a subpoenaed witness in upcoming trials. So I'm supposed to be available for that. I haven't got any mail though, so
I'm
I think I'm
literally
okay.
deputized in the county seat around Leyland. I, in a different life, I done have your ass in manacles.
Uh, yeah, yeah, maybe. But you could try.
Now I wouldn't be able to catch you anyway. I've learned that. That ain't
Yeah.
happening. It's
Yeah.
the bro. I still haven't. I can't never predict the broscade because it comes out of nowhere.
Well, it's all about finding your spot and taking advantage.
So, yeah. How you gonna thread this needle? At some point in time, you've already been over to her house. She's gonna expect to see the family at some point in time. You got to wrap up the subpoena and the family visit all in one. Secret safe with me.
Well, I don't know. So right now, Gloria and her family, they're all in Neverwinter. So I mean, we would pass through. No, no, we wouldn't pass through. We would have to go to Neverwinter, clear that up first, and then we could head up to Luskin after.
It's been a long time since I've been up to Neverwinter. Hey, can't beat those flowers either. You know what I'm saying? That's a romantic spot. You get one of those little cafe seats. I mean, away from the spell scar. That's kind of nasty area, but there's a lot of nice places up there.
Absolutely. Hey, look, every city has its good neighborhoods, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. They're just a country
Anyway,
mouse, like I said.
yeah, exactly. And in Neverwinter, that's where my order has one of its bases. So it's, that's where I was training previous to this.
The order.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Like I show my symbol, the Order of the Red Knight.
Oh my god, I
I'm
love
I'm a
this.
paladin. I have a goddess.
Oh, that's a whole thing. I
Like,
thought that was like a. I thought it was like a you thing. I didn't know that was like a whole groupie thing.
yeah, no, that's why I'm part of the order. I mean,
What?
I didn't make my armor or my symbol up.
I didn't think you made it up. I just thought it was kind of your thing. I didn't know it was like a group thing. I don't have like a whole. I don't have a lion pack rolling around with me. These pauldrons are mine, baby. I'm the lion of Leyland. I figured you were you were the champion of the red scarlet
The Red
lay
Knight.
thing.
Yeah,
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 the
red.
red called yourself a
What?
red knight. I thought it was good branding.
Oh no, no. The Red Knight is my goddess. So I wouldn't call myself that. That would be
Oh
blasphemy, I think.
oh oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no. It's okay. You know what? You're learning a
Can't
lot today and yesterday.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I guess I really am.
But
Uh,
like you have other followers of Shantae that you know,
Right,
do
and don't
stuff
you
with.
have like a full group of your family that protect this land? Wasn't that your whole thing?
Oh, hey guys, the tea is ready.
Yeah, it is.
Hi.
What? Hey, howdy.
Right. Well, no, didn't you say that your family protected these lands? Your father before you and whatnot?
Well, yeah, but we're like, they don't call themselves the lion.
Right, so it's just a prideful thing?
Rawr.
But
Yeah.
wow.
Pride.
So, no offense. It's kind. I know it's kind of be strange. Like, you're a cat, and I kind of idolize a bigger, badder cat.
Mm.
Let's not bring up lions. That's kind of insensitive, don't you think?
Well, never. Hey, I'm learning a lot of stuff on the fly here. And I think I'm been pretty good about it. Like I'm trying to learn here. Learning on the
Yes.
fly.
Mm.
Country
I mean,
mouse,
things
what I
we've
say.
already learned throughout our
Well,
travels.
Red Set, I'd like you to meet Lucky.
We've already met.
I can't tell when you are and when you aren't.
No, I remember everything that happens to Soot.
Yeah, but I don't. But I'm not interacting with. I gotta interact with you. I'm a people person, okay? I can't. If I'm talking to Sit, then I'm not talking to you. Father.
Right. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Bronson, for the most part, every time that I've been aware, you've been there. So you've been around for most of what I am.
That sounds like a lot like responsibility.
No, no. That's not what I
Yep.
meant.
Yep.
Mm.
I've been the sole inspiration. This is gonna cut the potatoes.
Gable, I got you. I brought pickles because I know you could only taste sour, so I thought pickles would be a wonderful choice.
That is
Yeah, I
so nice of you. I
yep,
would love some.
yeah, yeah, because
It's
it's something.
it is you are right, it is not
Mm.
clay tasting, therefore it's something.
It's a silver lining, and they're good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know if that really applies to me
yeah,
anymore, but we can pretend it's
it
fine.
couldn't hurt.
Yeah, sure.
So, Gable, broccoli or cauliflower, that texture without flavor, that's kind of effed up, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yes.
You can still smell it, right? You could still smell the cauliflower.
No, not quite. It's
Uh,
sort of
that,
all of the
hey, that
olfactory senses. It's scent and taste. It's
just one
Hmm.
vegetable I can't get over.
yes.
My mom used to boil it. I could smell it. She'd eat it
Oh,
with a cheese sauce. It just stink up the whole house. You couldn't
Ugh,
get away from it.
God.
It'd get on your clothes.
hmm.
You know, I
Ugh.
will
She's a hell
say
of a cook, but her love of boiled cauliflower was just wrong.
you can
Hmm.
downplay it all that you like, and I'm sure that if I had my senses about me, I would agree with you. But right now, I would give anything to smell awful boiled cauliflower and taste of broccoli without feeling those teeny little nibs rolling around my mouth, all tasting of clay. So, just
Hmm.
saying,
Ah,
count the blessings where you can.
I look back over at Bishop. I go, broccoli rice casserole. I've been craving it. Put that on the menu next,
Okay, all right.
and
That
we will
sounds like
present our
the
feast.
worst thing for Gable, but
Mhm.
okay.
It's
Those tiny
literally
nibs, I hate them.
taking my nightmare and making a dish.
Mm. Uh,
Delicious.
this is
Mm.
good. It's a
Yes.
shame that that took 4 hours to cook, but I think it was worth it.
Hmm.
I think it was as well.
Yeah, no. It's just you smell it so much while you're cooking, sometimes you kinda lose the flavor for it, you know?
How long has it
No,
been?
that's a Luskin thing. That's never.
R Really?
Yeah, Bronson's been grazing. He's fried up some of the potatoes over on the side before he even
Mm.
did the main dish. It's all about enjoying the experience. He goes, we have somebody will crack up some bottle of wine when we're not on the trail. I'm going to teach you how to relax, Bishop.
I'm fine. I'm good to go.
Passes you his flask of good berry wine. Sorry, I only got one flavor on the trail.
Oh, well, that's perfectly fine. I'll take a little sip, pass it back. Or around, I suppose.
I have a little travel carafe that I'll put out and aerate some of that good berry wine and set up our feast for the evening.
Yeah. It took hours to answer your question from earlier, LB.
Mm-hmm.
This was a effort in culinary masterpiece here to make these
Mhm.
potatoes.
Mm.
They always
Awesome.
take so long to cook.
Didn't feel that long.
You'd be amazed how fast 24 seconds can happen in the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Or how long it can take.
Yeah, or how long it could take. So, it's crazy
Hi.
how time works.
Crazy.
Wow.
Speaking of wow. Speaking of Lucky, I am going to send him out, much like my old pig truffle hunter, and I'm gonna see if he can get us a couple of truffles.
Ooh.
Okay, until I fully develop some truffle finding mechanics, which I will have to work on, we can go ahead and just make
A little survival
a
action.
survival check. He can use your survival, and I'll give him advantage because he's a pig. So you can just go ahead and make a survival check with advantage.
Natural 20.
Well,
Give
then
me the black
yes.
truffles.
Lucky!
Go ahead
Damn.
and roll me 2d6.
Oh, this is huge. Oh
This is
man,
the biggest
this is
roll Robert's ever made.
huge. Oh, let's
Oh,
go.
There
holy
you go.
shit.
As
Mm.
though he was trained to do this from birth, 11 truffles does Lucky return with. Lucky may be an apt name after all.
So much. You guys have never had potatoes like this your life. Like literally, we sea salt them. Like when me and Bishop are like salt baying this at the very end. This is so delicious in dungeon, and we just carve those thin layers of truffle over the top that literally melts into the beef tallow over the top of these things. You don't even miss the fact that we don't have a protein on the menu yet. It is that divine.
I want you to know, as you are cooking up this fantastic dish, Gable under his breath goes, "Oh, fuck you," and just shoves a pickle in his mouth.
I think Soot turns back just in time for food. She's like, yes!
You made it. You didn't even have to wait.
Yay! It smelled so good when you guys started. Okay, cool.
All right.
Oh, this looks like it took a long time.
No, yeah, it's like restaurant quality though, so you get it like just when you're ready for it.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is payback from LB sending me our favorite ramen shop now in O-Town. Oh my god.
I drove 30 extra minutes to go to that place.
Worth every bit of it.
Oh, absolutely.
So
That's when you get a second one to go.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they won't even do to-go containers. That's how hot this
Oh yeah, they
ramen
don't
shop
do
is.
to go.
Wow.
They're
Yeah.
that busy.
Good for them.
For real. Yeah, I'm a fold up. I'm still in dad mode after we get like I got my salt out. I'm cleaning, season, taking care of all the stuff to get it put away because I'm ready to rock and roll for the morning.
All right.
anything of note? Continue. What do we got?
In the night, Gable is going to try to let go of the attunement to the fell blade,
Okay.
and he's going to reattune to the Siren's Whisper, to that crossbow.
Okay. Surprisingly easier than you thought.
I don't know why that creeps me out more than it should.
Yeah. Just because it has to, right? When you deattune, there's just like a and like maybe like a little bit of shadow. You like that. You like that was probably just like a tree, like a leaf in a tree. You saw it definitely as it just like into your backpack. And the familiar attunement of the Siren's Whisper returns.
That is his only thing.
Okay.
He is not doing another detect thoughts. He is not like actively trying to communicate with whatever saved him. He's just like, nope.
We're all business right now.
Does Gable want to wake up Soot to talk about what happened the night before, or does he wake up someone else?
Or does he keep it to himself?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Where those minds?
He's going to keep it to himself
Okay.
for now. But he'll wake whoever is next for their watch to essentially sit with him while he stares at nothing.
Gable, I want you to roll a perception check.
Ooh. Like this.
Making big calls.
That's a 16.
There is a rustling in the leaves from about 30 feet away from the campsite.
I'm going to make sure that the bolt of the Siren's Whisper is loaded. And I would like to make a stealth check to try and sneak up on this.
Go ahead.
That is a 23.
I'm going to assume that that's probably good enough, but we'll see in a second here. Perhaps.
Oh, eat with ease.
Yeah. Okay. So you, what does, do you follow the sound of the rustling?
Yeah. I'm going to like kind of do a little bit of a wide berth to see if he can glimpse what is making that sound.
Okay.
You're going to see the tail of Pickles over in that pile of leaves. My little lemur monkey, he has run off with a whole truffle in his hands, just gorging on this rich truffle, and and he's not going to move unless you make your presence known, and he's going to make that like that ferret run or the cat. He's going to do the sideways. So I'm officially down to 10 truffles.
Okay.
But yeah, Pickles is going to run back into the campsite. I didn't forget him. He's alive.
I
He's
wasn't gonna bring it up, but I'm glad you did.
Come on, because I got Timon and Pumbaa now, baby.
Oh, wow.
Pickles and Lucky, baby.
It takes several seconds for Gable to lighten his grip on the crossbow.
You know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna say that Bronson's watch is next when yours is done because I'm just coming to do that. Make that executive decision right now.
Because hey, Pickles would dart into the sleeping bag. Like, oh God, Pickles got. Ah, you smell like
Delicious.
Pickles, you smell like truffle.
Gable will just sort of wander back to the camp. Yeah, you should keep an eye on those a little more carefully. And he'll like pry his hand off of the crossbow too.
Didn't see anything out there, did you?
Other than Pickles stealing one of your truffles, no. Everything's fine.
Pickles.
Hmm.
Normally I'm not this chipper, and I get woke up. I don't know. I'm just ready. Hey, well, I won't lie. I'm kind of ready to get up and kick some ass. You know, you get that
Mhm.
itch. You get that itch as an adventurer, right? You're like, gotta let's blow some steam off.
Quite, yes. Um, especially lately. Um, sorry, I'm going to attempt to actually sleep. Something I haven't done in quite a while. Uh, yeah, I rolled a 4 for my persuasion, so that's a 10. You definitely pick up that something's not okay right now. But if you need me, I'm sure it'll be some sort of trance or something. You should be able to wake me if needed. Uh,
I'm just gonna put a hand on Gable's shoulder. Hey, we got your back. I'm just gonna give him the tap. I'm not gonna prod. I'm not poking. I'm not prodding. I'm just letting him in his way, the Bronson, the Bronson way. He's just gonna make eye contact with you. He's gonna give you the head shake.
mm, Thank you. Uh, I hope that remains true.
And I'm gonna finish that bit of eye contact, and I'm gonna give him the Snape. Always.
Gable's gonna cover Bronson's hand with his own and just sort of tap a little bit. And
Get some rest.
I do really want to get my sense of taste back. Because the food porn is killing me. And he'll walk back towards his area of camp, and he is actually going to try and sleep.
Okay. I don't think I need to make you make any kind of check to try and sleep. I feel like that's a thing you had done for many years. You know how to do it. It might feel a little alien at first,
Mhm.
but um if you would like to essentially like shut down, if you
Mhm.
will, to a sleep state, you are more than welcome to do so.
Uh, he'll do that, and almost like he's communicating with Gidget,
Hmm.
he's just going to sort of put a telepathic message out there that I appreciate you saving me.
Mm.
Please don't send me any dreams tonight.
Okay. Uh, you find yourself to slumber in a dreamless sleep. There's nothing else of note. We can just right to sunup here in the morning. Everybody good?
All
I'm
right.
Cool.
good.
I'm just checking.
Ready to
Yay.
rock and
Absolutely.
roll, baby.
Yeah.
Everybody can get that. I'm sure you already had it, but if you need it for something else, you can get that long rest. And we start the
Mm-mm.
next day on our travel towards. Did we decide where we were going to Talhundereth and the crypt first? Or are we doing Gibbet Crossing? Did we make a choice?
I think it kind of like as far as our maps go, what's got the easiest access?
It's it's six of one, half
All right
dozen
in
of
the
the other,
spot.
pretty
Okay,
much. Yeah,
Gibbet. Gibbet's closer.
by about
All
5
right.
miles. Yeah.
Cool. we'll hit that first then.
Okay. Again, just looking at how the breakdown, you can get just about there probably by the end of the day. You will make your way into the very small area that is Coneybury, a village that you're familiar with, not too far away from the Old Owl Well, where there was quite the memorable scene there. The as you make your way kind of to bear off of the Tribor Trail towards Gibbet Crossing, I will say that Soot, you are able to kind of just off in the far distance, but there is still, you can see that with your special eyes, the kind of purple flame glow of Old Owl Well as kind of a beacon there.
Hmm. It's still on fire. It's weird.
What?
Hmm?
The fire.
What?
Remember when we went to the well and we cleared out all the zombies and stuff?
Oh yeah, of course.
Hmm.
We murdered that guy. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember that, but I remember the fire. There's purple fire. I can still see it.
Oh,
I do remember you mentioning something like that. I
yeah, of
don't
course.
remember being able to see it.
I don't think you can.
All right.
Well, if it's still burning, that must mean something.
Maybe we can check it out on the way back.
Sure.
Sounds
Did
good.
you know there's almost 40 different kinds of quartz? Amethyst is one of them.
Okay.
It's
And
true.
citrine.
Oh, okay. No, and how does that work color wise? Is it just like different types of minerals in the quartz?
Yeah. So, like, amethyst, you see how it's got like the white underneath it?
Oh,
And then the
okay.
very purple color, that's what
Mm-hmm.
makes it amethyst. There's obviously the, metabolical parts of it. And then there's like the more smoky quartz, which has the clear coloring to it, but there's like imperfections in it. And like it's not as, rich and like people don't spend a lot of money for that. And then citrine is like really yellow, and
Ah,
you can see that it's not as clear. I mean, it's not opaque, but it's not clear.
looks like a little lemon candy.
Yeah, well, don't eat it. They're not very
No,
good.
no, yeah, that's fair. I try not to eat any rocks.
No, they don't taste like anything. So. And there's blue quartz, and that's a little bit more shiny. If you give it a good shine, you can make it all like circular, and people wear those in pendants and stuff.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah, at this point, just as you're talking this out, so you will have the, maybe it's something to store away for later, but the interesting thought that has passed many a rock mineral geology enthusiast as to why do we have things like citrine and amethyst? And then sometimes we're just like, and this one's blue, so we'll call it blue quartz. And this one's
Yeah.
pink, so we'll call it rose quartz. Why didn't we just call it purple quartz? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense, but somebody made that call, and that's
Yeah.
how it
I
is.
feel like that's more Ted speaking.
Yeah,
than
well,
it is
I can
giving-
impart my frustrations on the rock enthusiast of the group.
I mean, Brandenburg has purple in it, but it's not amethyst.
It's the same concept as why 25 words for sending, and if you charge me 500 gold for a diamond, is it not a 500 gold piece diamond? It's the same concept. If I upsell you a shitty low quality diamond for 500 gold pieces, it is a diamond worth 500 gold pieces. Nowhere in the magic of resurrection does it say it's all about the clarity and carats of these diamonds. It's just based on the monetary value. Anyway,
Bronson, this is strange. I'm listening to Soot argue with herself, but there's a different voice speaking for her at the same time.
probably red soot. You know how
I
it
don't know.
goes.
There's a difference between smoky and milky. One is darker than the other.
Is
I
that
learned
Ted
there's a lot of
Soot?
voices in there.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
Ted
Bishop
Soot.
problem.
That's Ted Soot.
Ted Soot.
Soot.
Oh, what
We
a
need-
gnarly beard on.
We need a third portrait
Just like
for
you get-
Soot. It's with an orange hat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm gonna take the time while we're rolling
Yeah,
up, and
I
I'm gonna
know.
gather, and
Oh,
I'm
this
gonna
is
gather some persimmons, and we're gonna do a persimmon hot toddy to start the day. Mix a
okay.
little bit of that ginger, lemon juice, the bitters, the fresh whiskey, and the turmeric and cinnamon stick. Everybody's got a fresh hot toddy. Even this could evoke something out of Gable. There's so much strong pungentness in there. Surely you could feel something.
Mm.
Well, I'm dead inside, quite literally, so I do feel something.
This is known to wake the dead.
Well,
So I will say logistically, we're gonna say travel wise, you're able to get to basically tomorrow you'll be at Gibbet Crossing just for the ease of travel time. I would
Yeah.
like an animal handling check from Bronson though.
Mm.
On it.
Bardic inspiration again.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. And my guidance, we'll just turn this into a D10 since it's stacked. Oh, baby. Let's
Ooh.
go. That's a 26.
Okay. More than sufficient for what is happening here. So you are able to successfully secure your narrative boar for perpetuity
Yay.
here. So
Lucky's saddled up and has become part of the family. Pickles is riding on the back near the tail.
Boom, 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 boom.
so as you all come to a rest before tackling Gibbet Crossing, I open the floor again for whatever roleplay situation we'll get into this time.
This is obsidian, okay? What they've been talking about is not obsidian.
is that obsidian or obsidian-like?
No, this is actually obsidian because it's easily chipped. You see how there's a little chip in it? Because it's been in my bag with the other rocks, and I really should keep it separate.
No, but that looked like that other stuff that we found that was like
It's,
obsidian, but not.
it's different. That one has a harder quality to it, so it doesn't chip as easily.
I'm gonna go take an
Oh.
obsidian behind this tree, all right? Everybody knows I'm going over here. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Dig a hole.
Bro, you're fired.
Wait, let's cook for Bronson while he's gone.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Sure.
sure.
I
What
can
do
make steak. Do we have any steak?
I'll look at Lucky.
No,
Well, that's
What?
pork.
Mhm.
you
but,
couldn't even taste it.
I know it's pork, Ted.
Yeah, well, I don't know I don't know what Gable knows. He's all messed up in the head
True.
after he died.
It's
I'll find
very
some
true,
stuff.
honestly.
I'll find some stuff to make a really good salad. She starts going out into the woods.
Just start grabbing leaves.
I have a +8 in survival, and I rolled a 27. Okay.
Sorry, that was
Better
totally
than
Gable
leaves.
making the joke, not Cujo.
Uh-huh.
Roadside Caesar. Let's go. Anchovies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, Bishop, what can I do? I suppose I've never really cooked.
Yeah. So, can you mince this garlic?
Yes.
Okay. To mince
What?
it, you chop it really thin,
Ah. Oh.
and then you chop it really thin again, and then you turn it and chop it really thin again, as thin as you can. That releases the oils better.
Oh. All right. Just for fun, let's do a. Okay. Yeah, it was a 17. So he'll take him a little bit, but sure, he'll mince up the garlic.
And you wanna use the bear claw technique, so you don't accidentally hit your
Oh
nails.
yes, if only I had bear claws. I see what you're saying.
No, you fold your
Hmm.
knuckle around so
Mm.
that when you're chopping with your knife, you don't accidentally cut yourself.
Oh, sorry. I tend to assume. Sorry.
No, I mean that's just what they call it. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, he'll follow the direction, and
Sure.
he's very
Alright.
clearly a. I usually don't have to do this sort of.
Bronson's gonna come back, prestidigitating his hands.
Fired.
You guys
If you
could
Hey,
just
could,
start
Sean.
wouldn't
without
you?
me.
Well, we're treating you tonight.
Well, you hear that, Lucky? Pickles? We got the night off.
I found asparagus.
Oh dear God. All right. Cool.
Also
we'll take
found the perfect pitch to
You
crack
saw-
the mic at the same time, but
Mm,
the most
I
excited
found
LB has been in this campaign was that Sun found some
Oh my
asparagus.
and wild ginger.
That's awesome. What are we? We gonna have asparagus with what?
Don't worry about it. Sit down.
well,
Right.
Yeah.
What are we making?
all right. Okay. Well, we have the asparagus, so that's good. That could be a staple of the meal. We also have found everything for a salad. So we will do a sautéed asparagus, and then I guess we could do some sort of Caesar style salad with the leftover chicken, and then maybe
Mhm.
we could do a ginger lemon poppy seed dressing with the leftover Greek yogurt that we have. It's not glorious, but it's super healthy, and I feel like it'll fill everybody up. Maybe take a day
Yay.
off from the insane amount of butter and tallow we've been eating lately.
I'm
Mm.
sensing a disturbance in the Bronson. As you say, take a break from the butter.
Luckily, I don't hear it because I'm in an intense attempt at trying to teach Pickles how to play dominoes with me.
Mm. Surprisingly good at it.
Better than I am.
Mm.
Bronson.
That's it. You're taking over Pickles from here on out.
All right, cool. We all get
That's-
one.
We all get one.
All
Can I
right.
put my top hat on pickle on Lucky?
Of course.
Yes. And it like shrinks down to the perfect size.
Oh man, what a good use for that top hat, huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Only we
Lucky
had a
looks at you
monocle.
with those loving eyes, and he just gives you a wet snoot.
No.
I love him.
All right, so
winner,
sounds
winner.
like dinner is served.
Dinner is served, and we'll serve it with I'll put together a quick bread.
Okay.
Okay, see there. At first, I was gonna be like, "You're serving me greens only," but then you're getting me some homemade bread.
Homemade
Man.
bread, but with olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and salt. Luskin style bread.
Okay.
Luskin
The
style
moment you
bread.
say Luskin style, Gable just
Anyway, here's a pickle, Gable. Enjoy yourself.
Here's
anyway,
make sure
here's
you
a pickle, Gable. I think needs to be a phrase. It's just always on the table.
So
You have
Matt,
to make sure you show it to him before.
I
Like,
was
you
gonna
can't
say,
just
chat
startle him
brought
with
it
a
up.
pickle.
You can't just throw a cucumber at a cat, right? They're gonna freak out and jump away. That's what happens. So
You never want the surprise pickle.
He freaks out
nobody likes the
so
surprise
hard.
pickle.
He jumps and does like a full 360 like spiral and then lands.
Looks like you've seen old Greg.
You guys get flashbacks to Soot's family farm and their family estate and the
Oh my
lake in the
God.
back there.
The lake in the back there. One of the times we went fully insane.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 Just submitted to
Yeah.
the chaos.
Mhm.
The old Greg of the lake.
The first time Red Sit was ever sit.
Mhm.
Disturbing for everybody.
Mhm.
All right. Anything else that we need to discuss, go over, or whatnot for this evening before we actually head into Gibbet Crossing as I continue
I
to
just give
add
everybody
all...
a big hug for being thoughtful and cooking.
Well, what
Dang
do you...
it, man.
Oh, that was super kind of all of you. Thank you.
Of course. You
Yes,
always
you-
cook for
Anytime.
us. Well, you and Bishop. Next time it'll just be Gable and me cooking. And next time we have steak, we'll cook.
Yeah. Yes, if you need some garlic minced, I'm your cat. But
Which would be great with the steak.
right, and that'll be it.
Just well, good. That's a high protein meal, great for before a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hmm.
can make potatoes too.
I like to cook, so it's not like a problem for me to do it.
No, it wouldn't be a bother at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm gonna make an
Please
insight
let
check.
us treat you.
If you've
That
seen the
relieves it.
pause
5. All right.
menu,
The
Uh,
curse of Bishop's insight checks
wow.
continues. Holy shit.
uh, well, we all know it. It's fair.
Mm-hmm. At some point during the cooking, Soot like looks at Gable, and she like gives him a face and then a really big wink.
Mhm.
I feel like this is a very conspicuous wink. It feels like
Mhm.
so. I think everybody with the existence of eyeballs could see this like
Mm-hmm.
big wink
Okay.
happening here for whatever that's worth.
Mm.
I also do a big wink. Thumbs up.
What are you winking about?
Oh, I thought because we were all just having a good time cooking together.
Yes, we definitely are.
I am.
Yeah.
No? Okay, cool.
I love Set so much.
I'll go ahead and give Clarence his oats with a little bit of honey, the way Bronson
No,
does it.
it's not the same, but okay.
All right, well, hey, I love you.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I feel
Wow.
like they're just empty words, but it's fine.
God
Oh,
damn.
I try so hard. I hope one day.
All I need is just a little bit of chocolate, but that's okay.
Okay, you're never ever gonna have chocolate. You're not allowed to.
It's like code for you're never ever gonna be happy.
I don't even think you like it. I don't know how well your sugar like taste works. It just
No,
tastes
it's cool.
bitter.
You can decide for me what I do and don't like. That's how
That's
this
that's
works.
my job.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
supposed to take care
innocutory.
of you.
Yeah, of course, it's fine. You know what's best for me.
I'm trying, man. I'm doing my best. You're well taken care of. I brush you twice a day.
Yeah,
I
well,
make
you're a
sure.
little rough with some of the brushing, but okay.
All right. Well, you know what? That's fair feedback, and I'll do my best to be more gentle.
Yeah, not too gentle though.
Well,
Like
how
I
about
still
well,
have to be brushed. Like don't
I know,
caress, just brush,
but not too hard. Up
but not
by the
too hard.
mane. Okay, yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, here, have an apple also. You can have
Oh, I can
those.
pretend that's chocolate. Cool.
You can. You really can. All right. Well, good night then. And I cut the psychic connection.
Uh-huh. He ruined it. He
You're
really
awful,
just
Cujo. You're so awful.
The
You gotta
guilt-tripping
roll.
horse is my favorite character.
There will be a day when you return his praise, but today is not that day.
Today's
It's
well,
not that
I'll
day.
have to earn it. We'll have to have a. I just can't wait until he's in a combat because I feel like he's gonna come alive.
we're gonna find out. Maybe
We're gonna
today.
Just
find
Who
out.
blood
knows?
murder.
You won't touch him.
Oh no! The
Oh man.
preview. Holy.
Uh,
All is the world is healing. All is restored in the realm.
Uh, okay. Uh, I will say again. Anything else for this evening before we roll into tomorrow?
I want to role play a scene with Clarence, Pickles, and Lucky. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Man, it's your game, right? That's how this goes. I am but a humble arbiter of wherever we end up going, and it's never where I plan. So I did spend the time with the thing on pause to add all of the monsters into the map, so they're there now. Just so I have that done.
Yeah, hey, we're always that's what good RP's there for you to get that on the
It's
fly
all
prep.
done for this one, and then But anyway,
I will ask Bishop when I get the
Mhm.
chance. So tell me a little bit more about the Red Knight.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, she is the goddess of tacticians and battlefields. She's uh, so there are several divisions of the order, right? And basically, the idea is the best victory comes before the fight, right? It's the planning phase. It's preventative measures, and that's really what my sector of the order follows. We're not quite as combat oriented as others. We're more here to gather information, to understand what our opponent is, and generally to protect the realm from outer outer threats, which is
What's
what we're doing.
Does the Red Knight date back to the Brosian times? I feel like I missed out on a history lesson on that.
I feel like we're going to
Okay,
establish this right now because we have not, because
sure.
the Brosian is completely made up for this campaign.
All
So,
right.
um,
Well, the Red Knight's established in the time of troubles, so I
correct.
don't know
No,
when that
she's
would
been
be.
around for a while. She's not just again Faerunian lore for the chat and for everybody else in the party. So she is a goddess, right? That there's no question. She's not like a demigod. She is like a part of the portfolio of Torm, right? So like Torm, on the higher level, she's kind of owns a piece of that, and the other gods also have buy-in. But again, as Jake said, it's like it's more of like a specific aspect of battle and fighting, not like god of war, god of all that kind of stuff. It's kind of how like you have like Mistra is the goddess of magic, but like then Azuth is the god of wizards. Like it's a subsect of the overall pantheon, if you will. Um, So I feel like given what we've established for the Brosian Empire as a whole, like she's got to be one of the revered types, which probably leads to Bishop's very much interest in the Brosians. I'm going to say that she was definitely like one of the main kind of for the holier types, one of the
The
main
Athena
focuses.
type.
The Athena type, if you will, for the Brosian Empire, yes.
I never really put two and two together, but I had an old friend of mine. I wouldn't say we were adventurers together, but we certainly did a lot of work. They eventually went down mercenary route.
Okay.
We all kind of know where that ends.
Hmm.
We spent a lot of nights with this old chess set, and I'm going to roll out a traveler's chess set, but there is
Ooh.
a red knight piece
All right.
on that chess set.
Shall we play a game?
I don't think I'm ready tonight, but I think I will. I haven't pulled this out since then. And I think that he may have been of your order. I was always more into the jazz of battle, and he was certainly about being as prepared and tactical as possible. Probably why I didn't win very often.
Well, it is there's a big contest every year, and chess is certainly one of the games which we play.
I think I'd like to play you on this chess set sometime.
Whenever you're ready for it. What was your friend's name?
He lets out kind of an audible sigh. Damon.
Damon. All right, I'll take a little good berry wine and to Damon then, and old friends.
To Damon. I'm gonna give you that red knight chess set.
Okay,
And
fantastic.
I would also love if you could roll me a percentile there, Robert, as a trinket
no.
has been graciously donated by Cujo.
Oh no.
Let's see what we get here.
13. Oh God.
13. Okay.
There's no bad numbers.
Well, there's one that's not the best, but that's because of Jordan.
Oh,
But that's okay. We're not there
I
yet.
refuse that one. What is
Okay.
it? An 8?
It is an 8 across the board.
Yeah.
Jordan.
That's how bad I dislike it. Is that I remember it.
Yeah. It came up a couple times. For those thank you by the way, Raiders. For those of you who don't know, the 8 on the trinket table is the cursed stone of pH, where you have to add a silent pH somewhere in the middle of your name, your character's name.
In your character's name.
Yeah. So it would be
Permanently.
like BROPHNSON, but it still said Bronson. It's just a silent PH in the middle.
It's what is this the
We love you,
Jordan
Jordan.
rule?
It is. It was his suggestion, and I said, you know what? I'll apply it for every class across. So my favorite is one of the characters in one of our campaigns. His name was Oz, O-Z, but it was spelled O-P-H-Z. Is how you said Oz, but
BISHPHOP.
anyway, with a 13 is what you got? Yeah. Okay, it is. I don't know if you have this one, so let me know if you have this one or not. But we're just gonna say this happens to apply to the shield of shielding, because there's no point in giving you another random shield in the forest. But we're gonna say that as because an action is what it's written, but that's stupid. So we're gonna make this as an object interaction. Your shield can like condense down into a glove, and then go from glove
What?
back to a shield as a object interaction.
Yo, so I
Wow.
can swing my hammer two-handed and
then have it come back out. Again, it'll be limited in the turn how you set this up, because right, if you swing first, then you can make it into the shield, or you can make it into a glove and then swing. So depending on how you strategize, perhaps maybe something from Damon triggered in your mind that there may be some strategy onto how and when
love
you
that.
activate the shield.
Thank you, Cujo.
So that's up to you to figure it out, because you could have it as a glove all the time until you need it in battle, or however that works out. But consider how you want to do that when the time comes. But yes, so if you do want to swing two-handed,
This
I
is the
picture
day-
like
I'm
a
gonna call-
Michael Jackson glove.
just the glove, it's the glove of shielding / the
It-
shield of shielding, depending on.
It looks identical to the power glove.
Of
No,
course,
yeah,
I
this
love
is
that.
this is gonna be the Damon maneuver. Let's
Okay, I
go.
love it. All right.
Oh yeah, let's go. Hell yeah.
Well, sometimes, we always talk about how the dice tell a story. I have found not all the time, but a lot of the time, these weird trinkets end up somehow telling a story. Sometimes it's a top hat for a boar, but other times it might actually be of use.
Let's go.
Or it's a McDonald's toy that roars. But either way, one of some, you never know what you're gonna get. Anyway. Anything else? No?
Good to go.
Good to
Okay.
go.
It
Unless
is
Bishop Bronson wants to talk. Or no, fucking Gable,
Gable,
wants to talk
Gabe.
about the other night.
Gable. It's another night for which you can talk. And again, I want to make this abundantly clear from my perspective. I can't speak for the other players, but I can speak from my perspective. If it takes you another 3 sessions to get the 5 miles to Gibbet Crossing, I don't care. I really don't. You guys take this story where you want to go with it. We'll get there eventually.
We got a good pace going on right now.
Yeah. So if you want to have this conversation, do not feel like there's zero imposition if you want to have this conversation now.
Has the fell blade I suppose, acted erratically at all? Are there any signs that it is doing that like vibration, or is it moving closer to me at camp or anything like
How
that?
close are you watching it?
My eyes would pretty much be constantly looking at my pack
Okay.
and like
So
occasionally
again,
like
we'll put
opening it
that
to like make sure it's
out
in
there for everybody as well. Even though you're out doing things, there's this constant just Gable looking over at his backpack all throughout, just for whatever you'll, take that as you will. But you haven't really it's in your bag, you're looking at it, you see it. You haven't like your backpack isn't vibrating or like shifting over to you.
Yeah.
I also would like you to roll a percentile if you would.
Thank you, chat.
While warlock or rogue, your choice.
I think I've done warlock a couple times. I'll go back to rogue.
Okay, let's see.
That is an 80.
Okay, I heard the 8 and I was like, no, we just said this, but no, an 80, different story. You actually already have that one. That's the mouse
Okay.
that lives in your clothes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's up, man? How's it going?
No, that was a
all-
spider.
Oh, that's you're right.
That's the
Obviously.
spider, obviously.
I
That
forgot-
rides the mouse.
Yeah.
So he's there.
Okay, I'm not kidding. I rolled an 80 again.
Okay.
I'm going to
Okay,
reroll.
hang on. We rolled a double.
Okay.
That's the I don't know what the
Secret.
math is on that, but that's ridiculous. So
The secret of Nim is going on in his britches.
I was gonna say.
Nicodemus.
A 1 in
Um,
10,000.
Okay, I'm gonna just give you what the 100 is off of this because I feel like double 80
Okay.
in 2 turns in a row is the chances of that numerically is pretty unheard of. So
Okay.
you have from wherever it's found. I don't know. It's a seemingly simple wooden cane, right? It functions as a magical rapier that does bludgeoning or piercing damage, your choice. It is not detectable by detect magic.
Ooh.
So it just looks like a simple cane, but it is magical for the purposes of overcoming damage resistance. It's bludgeoning or piercing, your choice. It still always functionally looks just like a cane. And to the magic user detecting things, this is like a plastic gun. It does not go off in the metal detectors. This thing is completely, seemingly normal to anybody except for you, the rogue who's wielding it. And it is non-attunement as well.
Until you get stabbed with a cane.
Yeah, exactly. Well, again, I tried to make the 100 on all of the trinkets like it's essentially like a more magical item that can do a cool thing that taps into the nature of the class. So a nearly undetectable weapon that can do the things a rogue would likely want to do. Especially, hey, look, somebody who's down who happens to be down their primary dagger, as it were.
It's true.
You know what? I'm feeling nice. Let's also make this cane, because it's magical and made out of wood. Let's make it a light weapon as well.
Let's go!
You've given me a gift.
Well, the story put us here in a situation where a really cool weapon that I did give you that you decided to turn on yourself has betrayed you. So let's give you something else instead. In the
I
form of a
stabbed
trinket, and
myself.
it's all because of our lovely viewers in chat that something like that would
Thank you,
happen, so.
chat.
Bronson's like, this is a good cane. He gives it a double tap right on top of his boot.
What the fuck? Sorry, I know we're avoiding F-bombs. It was just, that's so funny. I'm actually going to pose a question to everybody else at the camp. Does anybody else key in that Gable is constantly checking his bag over and over and over?
I couldn't imagine Bishop would.
Based on every other
Everything?
insight check he's ever done.
Yeah.
You're weird as shit. I don't question anything that you have. And since you almost gave me a heart attack when I was poking around with your sleep apnea problem, I let your weird be your weird.
Mhm.
Soot
That's fair.
notices, but
Yeah.
she's not sure. She doesn't know that's why it is.
Okay.
I mean, I know stuff's going on, but like Bronson,
He just figured out who
Just
Reese
figure-
was yesterday. So
Yeah. True.
I've been having so much fun. You know, hey, what about? Never really talked to you about. It is my new thing right now.
It's an open book.
Uh,
Whatever you want to ask.
So no.
Nope.
Um, I think he would. I think he would struggle for a moment before he ends up writing it down.
Oh.
And he'll explain the vision he saw once again through Reese's eyes. He'll explain what happened with the dagger. He'll explain, I think you said it was like another raven had come to help him snap out of it. And he'll just add that when there's a lull, he will distance just a little bit from camp.
All right. There's the
Okay.
letter.
I'll put the tea on. If we're gonna have a nice chat.
So it grabs it.
I was gonna say I was waiting to see if it's like a scramble for who can grab this letter first.
Someone's like, "Oh, I dropped my dagger. Give it to me."
Gotta give it to me.
Soot reads it, and then it's like, oh my gosh. Oh, well, that sucks. Not what I thought it was gonna be. Do you guys want me to read it out loud, or do you want to read it individually?
Do you want to improv reading this letter out loud?
I don't.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I'll read it.
Dearest party members,
I'll
if
read
you're
it as
finding this
Gable.
letter, I think you're
So it
terrible.
turns into Gable.
And I'd give up forever to touch you because I don't think they'd understand.
Oh my god.
Are we so
Yes.
not blindly?
Yes. This is a song fic that I wrote for you guys with the lyrics from Iris from Goo Goo Dolls.
This is
I
the
just want
story of
you
a
to
girl.
know who I
Who I
am.
am, yeah.
Story. It's a story of a girl.
The whole world? Is this some lore I don't know about?
It's a goddess. Yeah, okay,
Apparently.
I'll read it. Oh, he did not have a good walk. Okay. I'll slide it across to Bronson then.
I get my readers out.
Of course.
Oh shit. That's certainly a pill to swallow. He passes it back into the center.
I could see why I was so upset the other day.
Yeah.
About
Why?
the night before. Totally about the night.
He was upset?
What?
Oh, I just didn't notice, but I guess that makes sense. He almost accidentally killed himself. Um,
Yeah. And saw his own death. From
yeah.
a different perspective. That's
Okay.
weird, though.
But
Well, I guess it was he was seeing through the eyes of the dagger.
yeah. Can I make a religion check for this raven?
Hmm. Sure.
Okay. let's see. I'm gonna use my heroic inspiration because I'm a person.
Uh-huh.
Nope. 13.
Yeah.
Nah. Well, it's certainly some sort of bird thing. Okay.
And not a lot of study in Luskin in your travels. You didn't spend a lot of time studying bird gods.
No,
So,
no.
you know,
Birds. That's for the birds.
just waiting for
Okay.
it. There it is.
I will make a
Yeah.
religion check.
Sure, good.
Bardic inspiration.
Oh, I keep forgetting about it. Guidance. Guidance.
Let's go. That'll make it a 21.
All right. So even still with that 21, this is there are all manner of creatures because again, you're not necessarily looking
Yeah.
you're thinking about this in the terms of something that obviously Bishop and Bronson are familiar with in the terms of a deity, right? We're talking there's a pantheon, there are places, these things exist. These are known entities of higher power that grant a very specific sect of powers to their followers. What this is based on the description, you don't have a whole lot to go off of basically from what you have from this letter. There are other entities. You guys have adventured and lived in the world. You know of warlocks and things that where pacts are entered and they may be things potentially posing to be a deity. In some instances it may be one, but there are all manner of creatures in a hierarchical scale that can grant abilities to followers for a
Mm.
variety of different reasons with a variety of different, prices, if you will, along the way. So this does not feel like a god, if that helps narrow it down at all.
Could I make an
With
Arcana check?
Sure. Go ahead, Robert. What were you
Um,
gonna say?
Oh, sorry.
with my background and being in tuned to nature, similar with Soot's druidic background,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to convey back to the rest of the party. I might not know what this crow stands for or who they are, but I've seen some shamanic things in my lifetime, and this certainly looks like we won't have any idea what's behind those beady eyes until we find out for ourselves. These things
Yeah.
can manifest themselves in all sorts of different ways, positive, negative, the mix, all of it.
Yeah, with your Arcana check too. So again, pretty much
Mm-hmm.
corroborating Bronson's thought on this.
Mm-hmm.
These types of entities, assuming it is kind of the thought process you're both following, um,
Mm-hmm.
they can either be like a silent partner in some
Mm-hmm.
instances where they're just granting power. Some instances it's to get a lot of people following them to boost their status as though, potentially to enter godhood, right? That's a thing. If you get
Mm-hmm.
enough people following you, you can kind of manifest that capability. Some of them, it's a it kind of is and it's never necessarily spoken, but almost in some instances it's a test.
Mm-hmm.
Show me you're worthy of the abilities
Mm-hmm.
I've given you, and we can have a further conversation. You know what I mean? What it
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
is, all you know from what you gathered and what you have, like concrete information, if you will, your friend and companion was left for dead, died, and was brought back by this thing
Mm-hmm.
for some purpose based on what he said and what you've seen. Vengeance or revenge or something
Mm-hmm.
seems to be that purpose. And it hasn't done anything negative necessarily to him. While he is different than he was in a previous state, he's not being controlled. He's not being
Mm-hmm.
forced to do things against his will. He still has his own faculties. he might be changed, but he also has powers that he didn't have previously to potentially achieve that goal.
Well, I think you're right. We won't know until we know, but I mean, at least I, I know that it's not a fiend. So there's that. Check mark.
All right, that's good. That's good news.
And I mean, again,
Um,
out of what you're talking about, that is very much a possibility. Fiends are, in
Mhm.
fact, one that will deal and connive to get followers, usually for some ulterior motive. There's been talks about fiendish cabals in the history gathering warlocks from different parentages for different reasons to usurp different levels of hell and things like that. Fundamentally, knowing that it does not fall under the devilish, demonic, or um the fucking Yugoloth, whatever it is, the other one, the neutral one that's not chaotic
Yeah.
or evil, is a pretty that's a good check mark to have. So while there are varying spectrums of good, evil, and otherwise for anything else that could do this, well, that you'll have to find out. But the usually inherently bad one is off the list.
See? At least we got something.
okay. Should we call him back over? He's just kind of standing there.
I don't know if he's brooding or if he's
Resting?
yeah.
Gable, we read your letter.
And he doesn't really say much before he slowly just comes back and sits down.
Okay. So it looks like you got saved from a bad spot, and you lied to me when you said that you had a nice walk. So that hurts a little, but I forgive you for that. Um, how so you're bent on this revenge, even though you are the final person on your list. You see where that leads, right?
I'm well aware. But I know that if they did this to me, and if Reese had. I mean, obviously, I can't quite speak for him. I haven't seen him since it happened, but if it was so transactional, then there are others that are just as victimized by this group that, in order to prevent further suffering, I feel I have to do this.
Hmm. I want to make an insight check on that.
we
Traditionally
thinking we
good.
thinking we hit double digits this time?
No, we
Yeah,
don't.
we
It's a
don't.
Oh my
7.
god.
I
Um,
believe in you. Guidance.
All right, we
all
might
right.
hit double digits.
It's still probably not going to be any good,
Here comes
but
the one from the.
no, a 3
Okay,
for
double
10.
digits. That's a first.
Hey!
My best insight roll of the campaign, 31 episodes. Here we go.
10 is the number, by the way. So,
10.
I mean, my die rolled an 11.
okay,
Hey,
well,
that's fine. All right, so okay. Well, that is a noble purpose to have, but I mean, wouldn't it be better to go to the authorities, bring them to justice in a more traditional style versus taking this solely into your own hands? I mean, you have enough information on these people to even anonymously.
You know what? You're right. But on that same token, shouldn't we be alerting the authorities about the existence of whatever it is that we're about to go and find in these spots?
I wrote a
This.
letter.
Okay, fair point. My point being, you wrote a letter, you sent it off, and here we are still going to handle it ourselves.
Well, it seems pressing because there's all sorts of insanity going on in town.
the little
And I'm
tentacle
not
comes
saying,
out from your leg and like scratches
yeah,
behind your ear and then
yeah, I don't
Oh
even notice.
God.
Uh, it's part of me
See,
now.
here's the thing, Bishop. You recognize that this is pressing because you can see the threat and see the effect that it's having on these other people.
Mm-hmm.
They're dangerous because we can't see. We don't know the lengths of the damage that they're causing. All I know is that they are very well connected. And Reese is planning something big. I don't know what it is, but it's big enough that your Gloria was put in the crosshairs as a sacrificial lamb, possibly.
Okay. Well, then after we're finished here, we should go and deal with that. But I don't know that the murder is where you should want to bring this. I don't know.
I respect your perspective. I respect the strength that it must take to keep that belief. But I do not have the same belief system as you do. And that is not me being insulting, that is just how I was brought up. That it was kill or be killed, and I was killed, Bishop. And I now have confirmation that Reese has done it before with the exact same blade that is currently in my pack.
No,
So
he needs to be stopped. I'm not arguing that. It's 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 not a question of whether or not we handle it. It's only a question of how.
I understand. But somebody as well connected as Reese, with connections to the Zentarum, however strong they might be now, who knows? There's no way that he would just sit in a prison cell to wait out the end of his days without finding an escape route. Yes, Soot.
Um, what happens? I mean, you don't know what pact you made. Do you know what happens if you don't kill them?
I don't. And that is an interesting thought. And it's something I haven't really considered, mainly because I have thought of nothing else. And
I was just thinking that if you have a pact with a vengeance something or other, because you're so hell bent on this and you have wanted nothing else, if you don't do it, something bad might happen too. So there's a lot of things that we have to think about moving forward.
I'm sure as time goes and whatever it is that is bonded to me remains, I'm sure more truths will reveal themselves in time. But all I know is that I cannot, in good conscience, just send these people to some dungeon, to some prison, and hope that they'll stay there and not do any more harm. And I'm sorry, Bishop, because I know that that is not something you would like to hear, but that is my truth. And I very much would like to find some sort of means of continuing to move forward, knowing what it is that I have to do.
Well,
Some individuals deserve a different kind of justice.
I mean, We just traveled deep into a mountain to face off against Ruxathid. And there was no. I shouldn't say there was no hesitation, but there was an understanding that in order to preserve life and reduce his impact on those around him, he needed to be dealt with.
That's true. That is valid. Well, I can't say that my judgment in this is unclouded. I just I just think that maybe going through proper channels may be an option. It might not end with your blade, but an executioner's? Is that something you could live with?
If I hadn't been shown my own death after receiving this blade, I would say yes. However, now I don't think that I could.
Well, there's the tea water ready to go. I'll just get a cup of tea for everyone. Well, okay. Okay.
If it helps, just think of it as skipping a few steps to get to the executioner.
It doesn't. We'll we'll keep talking about it though.
Like I said, I need to place more trust in you all. We've been through a lot, and despite every warning in my mind not to trust too much, I felt it was important to do so. So, thank you for your understanding as best as you could. So, um, tea, right?
Yeah, yes, tea.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's our sleepy owlbear tea, and I put lemon in yours.
Thank you. It is very much appreciated.
Um, yeah, yep. All right. Well, I mean, either which way, we have to track him down. So I guess we'll start on that next. Good thing we know where Gloria is, so that's at least something we can check off the box and
About
hope.
that.
Mm,
Um,
I'm going against every fiber of my being in doing this, but trust is important, right, Soot?
as long as that trust doesn't hurt somebody else, right?
That's the hope. She's being moved from
I
Neverwinter
I will
down
add
to
in a
Waterdeep.
piece that I forgot to add in because I was gonna have it. Well, it came out now, so I have to add it in now.
okay.
That missive about her being moved. There's a line in there that says, "In light of new evidence."
I will reveal that and just say, as I stated, people who are so well connected have loopholes and ways of skittering out of their punishments.
Okay. When? Where?
Into 10 days to
Oh,
Waterdeep.
okay. All right. You both knew about this. Um, all right, cool. Cool. Well. All right. I'm gonna go for a walk. Clarence, come on. I'll be back.
uh, I saw there was an insight check made there, Robert. Anything to add? Or are you good?
My insight check is solely on the fact that it seems that justice can only be served by his own blade and not any other option, even if death is one of them.
Hmm. Got it.
I should go explain to him why we didn't tell him.
Yes, that's fine.
She walks off into the woods.
Just me and Clarence now. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Do you really want to try chocolate?
I mean, kinda, but
All right.
well, no, but I guess I trust you.
All right. But you're a big old horse, so if you have a little bit of chocolate, you'll probably be fine.
I mean, don't size shame me, but okay.
You are okay. I'm sorry. That was insensitive, and I
No, I was
apologize.
a it was a joke. I'm trying
Okay.
a new thing. It's joking around.
Okay, good, great. I love that for us. I just had a really bad conversation with everyone, so
I know I'm connected to your mind.
yes, that's right. Uh, okay. All right.
That's why I'm not complaining nearly as much.
I appreciate that. I really do. Okay.
Bishop,
Yeah. Good. Hey,
is it okay if I talk to you?
of course.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
I see why you wouldn't. I understand that.
Red said that it would probably hurt you, and I see that it did. For you to
Yeah,
know.
well, sure. Knowing is a thing, but it kind of hurts more you not telling me.
Why?
'Cause I I don't know. You're my friend. I figured I just didn't think we kept secrets. Um,
Well, uh, Red said it was for Gable's peace of mind, but I don't think that it was for Gable's peace of mind.
well, Retza has her own take on things. Um, but you guys are different in perspective, if not any other way.
Mm.
Um, so just like she's following her heart and Gable's following his, you've you gotta pick, I guess.
Well, I don't know what to do. I mean, with all this, it's
Sure.
a lot. Like, I know that you don't want to kill her because of your order, and Gable wants to kill her because of his thing that he's got
Mm-hmm.
going on, and I feel like I'm stuck in the middle.
Okay. That's yeah, yeah. I can see that. No, it's that's not. It's not. It is like that, I guess. Um, I don't know. I feel like we can find. There's still time for a solution that's not a vengeance-seeking murder. Despite, is it the right thing? I don't know. Maybe Reese sounds like a hell of a bad guy. Obviously, he needs to be stopped, and the people that work with him are just as guilty. And if Gloria did, even if she's, you know, a, a disposed of pawn on the chessboard, then that doesn't excuse her actions previous. Um, I don't know. I was My head's not clear on this. But no, you did what you had to do um about it. And so that's okay.
You don't have to forgive me just because you're nice.
No. Well, thank you. Um you I know you're doing your best with everything. Um you Gable is our friend. I I want to help him, and I it's just such a bad road. And now, I mean, obviously he's on the list. What does that mean for him when this is done?
I think maybe he's on borrowed time.
Yeah, so let's find a way to unborrow it or pay it back that's not murder. There's
Well,
other powers.
yeah, yeah. And maybe we can find a way to, maybe like a way to outrank the pack that he has now with the different pack or break
Yeah,
the bonds. I don't know. This is a lot.
it is. It's just not something to give up hope on yet.
Hmm.
That's all. Um, Obviously, I don't want you to. I There's nothing wrong with. He asked you to keep it quiet. He asked Red Soot to keep it quiet, and you followed with that. That's fair and reasonable. I just it just hit. That's all.
I I feel like I came out here to make you feel better, and you're just trying to make me feel better.
That's okay. That makes me feel better too.
Okay. Well, we're not going to do anything yet. We've got these hills to deal with and the mind flayers maybe stuff
Mm-hmm.
and all of the not obsidian that's definitely not obsidian.
Yes, obsidian-like, but not quite harder, I think.
That's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. So that's good. We have a well, it's bad, but it's something to do, so that's good for right now. Um, I just, first off, murdering a prisoner mid-transport is something that could get incredibly messy.
Yeah.
Uh, and those are prison guards. These are, city
Hmm.
officers. It's couldn't just stand by while, you know, I just I don't know. And I have to pray about it.
Okay. Do you want me to go?
Um, yeah. Yeah, I think a little time to clear my head would be nice. But thank you for coming out here and talking to me about it.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Sorry again.
No, no, okay.
Okay. Oh, wait. And
Oh,
she like pulls out of her bag some cubes of sugar. I thought Clarence might like these.
Oh my fucking god.
yeah. Yeah, I think he probably would.
No,
Uh,
Gib, put it in my mouth.
God damn it.
he would
Welcome
love
in,
if you
Raiders!
He would
Slower.
he would love if you would feed them to him gently.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not gonna shove him in his mouth. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Do it, Cujo.
Come on,
Do
Cujo.
it.
Do
Do
We're
it.
Come
here.
on.
Do
It's
it.
too late. You
Eat
did
out of the
this.
palm of her hand right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Don't you back
Lick
down.
the sugar cubes. Mm.
And Bishop
Your
will,
whiskers tickle.
Bishop will hear, oh,
He's so food motivated. It's one of the things I love about him.
Mm-hmm.
Lips of an
He's a good horse.
angel.
Boy,
Well,
am I glad
I'll
this
see you
wasn't an
later.
in-person session at PAX, huh? Boy,
oh man, with
I
that
can play the
Tinder
straight man
reference.
real well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Soot wanders off back to camp.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna pray about this situation, ask for guidance.
I
Okay.
don't know whether Bronson or me can handle you two letting each other down anymore in this awful start to your relationship.
Mm.
Brutal.
Yeah.
It
Could get
hurts.
worse.
It's, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah,
It's
I
Act
don't think.
1,
I think the
baby.
trick is nobody feels comfortable, Robert. Everybody
Nope.
is cringe and awkward, and that's just kind of how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I will continue to feed pickles and lean up against Lucky like the Witcher pause screen around the campfire, occasionally being statically shocked by my or.
All right. So you're praying to the
Mm-hmm.
Red Knight for guidance. How?
Sure.
What specifically?
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to get into like the specifics, but
Yeah,
guidance
yeah.
on what task, I guess.
Guidance on if if killing these people to stop them is righteous or if it's not so. I mean, if it's, is this something that I could follow through with and be able to hold my head high about?
Mm. So, probably not surprising you, the nature of your prayer is a very you centric
Thing,
question and not a
isn't
thing
it?
that if you truly need to ask. This is one of those like if you have to ask, you kind of already know, but
Mm,
a popular very common phrase you recall from all of your training just kind of um almost like if you were to picture a blank page in your mind or like a chalkboard or something kind of written in kind of a glowing red font is something you're very familiar with, but an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
true words. All right. I'm going to stay out for a little while and head back in like half an hour with Clarence.
Yeah, I mean, you know that you can try and rationalize this, and you might be able to. And realistically, in the grand scheme of preparation and tactical mindedness, yeah, there is something to taking the most powerful pieces off the board,
The
right? There's
board.
something to that. But even a pawn can become a queen, so it's really hard to figure this out, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's all about the strategy. Maybe this is the play. Maybe coming out strong and just taking pieces is the move. But maybe there's a greater picture and, work yourself into a better spot
Okay.
down the road.
Sure. Yeah, the whole board is not yet revealed, and I am a silly little bishop.
You are a silly little bishop and you know one piece and where it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
There are at least 4 to 5 other big pieces out there that who knows how big this board is.
Okay. All right. That is That is excellent guidance from the Red Knight
Yes,
and
exactly.
Ted.
There
All
you
right,
go.
cool. All right, I'll saunter back into camp after my nice little thought clearing walk and be like, all right, I'm gonna head to bed. I'll big day tomorrow. Big day tomorrow.
Huge.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Bishop.
Good night.
All right.
I think Brunson's gonna go take a little nature walk.
Okay.
Nothing special. Just gonna take that good berry wine out. A lot of feels from everybody else. He's feeling a little bit of, I don't know, you'd say guilt
Okay.
of kind of not having an effed up life.
Yeah, it's funny, where you sit there with Bronson kind of reflecting on all of this. Sometimes there's a normie in a group of adventurers who just had yeah, sure, every family has problems, right? You maybe didn't agree with everything mom and dad did, but mom and dad are around. Brothers, sisters, family members are around. And you look back and you're like, well, oh man, that time I had to clean my room was real shitty, but at least I wasn't getting killed or stabbed with my pants down. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's feeling it for everybody else a little bit. Maybe he had a little too good. Wish everybody else had a little bit more love and support. He's gonna sip his good berry wine, go check on the moon cycles, and just go for a little stroll.
Okay. All right.
I
Gable
mean,
will
those divorces were not so great, but
I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
but
like,
he was
Yeah.
already an
They
adult.
could have all three been amicable.
yeah,
fair.
you know,
Unlikely, but fair. I want to know.
Booger Dog just barked and seconded me.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
He went. Woof. It's totally not him needing to go take a piss. He's got my back.
that's right.
Good.
So what was Gable
Uh,
doing?
Gable is just going to look towards Soot
Oh,
and just say, I'm sorry. I'm sure that it wasn't a good conversation between you two, and I'd hate to think that my obsession was causing tension.
Oh, no, no, it wasn't your fault. I chose to. I mean, we chose not to say something.
Well, regardless, if it helps to ease the mind, then I would like to just say that if there's a chance to prevent you, prevent you all from getting wrapped up in this, then I would take that chance because you're all too. Pardon how this sounds. You're all too good, and that is rare. So, I wouldn't want to corrupt that in any way by looping you into my. Well, I believe Bishop just called it a revenge quest.
Well, I mean, if it is for the greater good, right? Then, I mean, like you said, we kill bad things. It's part of being an adventurer. And if it's really what has to happen, I'm not the one who I'm not smart enough to decide that, but if you believe it is, then maybe it's something that has to happen.
Well, I I appreciate you, Soot.
Thank you.
All sides of you.
Speaking of, did you tell Red Soot that it was for your peace of mind, or did you tell her that it was for revenge?
I told her it was for revenge.
Oh. Do you know why she lied to me?
Robert coming back in.
Mhm.
Because I told her to.
Oh.
Like I said, you are all too good, and I don't want to corrupt that if I had the opportunity to prevent it.
So it takes your hand, your paw, and hers. I appreciate that. I do. I understand.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. I literally just told you that I arranged a lie to convince you of one thing or another, and you're holding my hand, looking at me like that.
Well, you did it for a good reason, right?
Well, I need to learn to be more trusting, and this is something that I will stumble on sometimes, but I do hope that the effort is visible, and I'm sorry for lying.
She like pats the back of your paw. I forgive you.
Hmm. Well, um, you should all probably get some sleep. I'll keep an eye out. We're only, what, less than a day from our destination? We don't know what's crawling through the nature around us, so.
Okay. I'm gonna tabaxi it up tonight. I need to get some good spine rest. The ground gets really hard.
Good night, Soot.
Good night, Gable.
Anything else?
No, I'm done hurting my own heart and the hearts of others tonight. I'm good.
Well, it's fine. There's nothing in the woods. You guys have enough of a horror for yourself. It's just the
Yeah.
conversations you're having. We don't need to
Yeah.
throw in a
Yeah.
creature to fight. There's
Oh
enough.
my god, a
being-
monster! Like,
yes.
Oh,
die.
when
Great.
yeah.
I make my little late night vision quest,
Mm.
instead of doing my normal consecrate the ground and focusing on my Shantae, I guess, obligations, you could say, or
Sure.
at least devotion,
Mm-hmm.
my mindset's going to be with the All Father and
Mm.
Moradin and what's to come when we go into the hills the next day.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to be practicing my Damien maneuver as I go.
Mm.
Just kind of going in between, getting ready for this, because tomorrow might take both hands.
Okay. I'll tell you what. It's been, while it might have started as a just sort of, I don't want to say F you to Red Soot, but the return to Moradin and Doomathoin to just be like, yeah, I'm still a dwarf, even though I don't worship Moradin and those gods on the regular. Although,
Multi pantheon. That's just
oh,
like,
of
hey,
course, of course.
you grow up in the house of Moradin. You can only hit the anvil so many times. You got to go and branch out a little bit.
No, I understand, but the shield you have is emblazoned with one and not the other. But point taken.
100%. It's
Why
my
don't you
main
go ahead
main
and
bay.
give me a religion check, if you would.
16.
Okay. It's not rusty, right? It's not, it's kind of always present, ever present, but this is a little bit different than your nightly routine, what you've done before. And it's, I don't know, it kind of, it definitely, there's that feeling of kind of going back in, you know, that sort of hominess of childhood and growing up. And there's definitely, I don't know, it's kind of like a pleasant return to something. Well, it's again always there, but never practiced truly fully as it has been. There's been a big focus on, you know, there's been a lot of grain mother related things that have needed to happen in recent years.
Shantae's like the retirement from the mercenary work.
Right.
That's, when it came down to being the Lion of Leyland, you know, it's hammer to amp.
Sure. And it's just, it is, those
Part of me.
movements become much more fluid in practice as you're just kind of like riding a bike. It all comes back after a couple of swings, but with a new maneuver added in here.
I don't know.
So,
You didn't see me in Scandinavia trying to ride around. Very much. They called me the town cow because I had my empties crate on the front of the bike, and the bike path is one brick long. So I just ding 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 when I rode into town. Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting it though. I'm in.
Yeah, you're in.
I'm in it.
So, all right. It all feels good. It feels fluid as you return, I assume, at the end of your little bit of late night practice here. Anything
Oh,
else?
I
Yeah.
will do one thing.
Yeah,
I'm
give
going
it
to
to me.
roll a perception check. I am specifically looking for crows and ravens.
Okay.
Oh, 18 to a 4. All right.
Oh,
Well, unfortunately, no. No, nothing out of the
No,
ordinary, nothing noticeable that
no
catches your eye.
Kendrick LaCroix.
No, unfortunately. um all right. So as everybody comes to sleep for the evening to wake up for the next day, uh we can make our way to good old Gibbet's Crossing in prep for next week's well, actually, that's a question to ask for everybody. Next week is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
What's
good.
what's the situation for everybody?
I'm good.
I'm probably out, and by probably I mean uh, I didn't realize I have so much shit to do.
Okay, Robert,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're out too.
Depends. I don't know.
Okay.
I could
I am
run
a
something.
maybe.
Oh, there it is. I was just like, why is my map not there? It's because I had the entire thing hidden and it's up in the top corner there. There we go. All right. Well, now we have our new map of where you guys all come in here to the from the surface down into Gibbet's Crossing, which I will describe in full at a future point as we are a little bit past time here. So let's go ahead and bring our session here to a close as we go down the line here and introduce or outroduce, if you will, all of our players.
Ooh.
If you will.
I am also down to schedule before the holiday if everybody wants to make a time if they have one around, because there's gonna be all sorts of holiday shuffling going on here between now and PAX U. So I'm open.
Okay, well that is
I'm open to
also
discuss.
yeah. We will have an offline discussion here, but that being said, Robert, where can people find you? What's going on?
Hey, you can find Captain Robert at everything not traumatizing. Uh,
Mm,
great session. Yeah, we're playing a bunch of D&D. We got Curse of Strahd on Sunday nights with the Mod Squad back. We got a Monday game coming online. After that, we got a new UK time slot coming up. We're going to have D&D Sunday through Thursday, and we're going to be back to doing doubles on Wednesday between the UK slot and Ted's game. So fire it up. Let's go.
if you thought it was hard to get a hold of this man before, good luck.
Mhm.
There's so many campaigns being prepped. We'll see how it goes. LB.
Hello, I'm LB Hackabob. You can find me at LB Hackabob on Instagram and Threads and Blue Sky. I'm Hack Recklessly on Twitch and YouTube. This week we are back to doing our normal schedule. Tomorrow I will be on Critic Chronicles, playing my wonderful character who has alexiphilia and does not feel emotions. And now we're with his ex, which is super fun. And then Friday, Ren and I are back playing Silent Hill to get nice and spooky. Sunday, we are back for our finale of Playthings of the Gods, where we got the Avengers Endgame style combat coming up. I'm hype and overwhelmed and excited. So tune in for that Sunday at 8 o'clock EST, and then we'll figure out what's going on next week. That's me.
All right. Jake.
All right. If you liked this sad tired boy in Bishop, you can listen to my other sad tired boy, Malcolm Glass, on my podcast, Legends Rerolled. We release every other Monday. We just released episode 7. Of season 2. It's going really well, and it'd be great if everybody listened.
Cujo.
Hello, I am Cujo. I feel guilty about how sad things got. Anyway, hi,
I mean, it's your fault.
Oh,
everybody.
it's
Go ahead.
great.
I know. No, it was so much fun. I run Critic Chronicles on Twitch. You can find me at Critic Chronicles on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, pretty much everywhere except for a non-toxic space. I run The Tales of the Valiant on Thursdays, which is sponsored by Kobold Press. Thank you, Kobold Press, for the sponsorship. And then I run Shadows over Baldur's Gate, our post Baldur's Gate 3 D&D campaign. There's been mentions of Halsin. We've met Archduke, Alder Ravengard, and it's been revealed that Tiamat is trying to make a bit of a comeback. So tune in for those shenanigans. And then at some point in December, I'm going to do like a let's see how the year went stream and maybe announce some future games and stuff. So regardless, find me on the social media because I'll be all over the place. And yeah, love you.
All right, and this is my channel. So we do this on Wednesdays, and I do a bunch of stuff over on YouTube when I'm not in Disney or dying of flu/pneumonia. But other than that, well, I'm around. I'll be.
Find me on Falcon Myth on Tuesdays for the next couple of weeks. I totally forgot to mention that. Sorry, Falcon Myth.
Jeez, this guy, man.
I'm sorry,
man.
Go check out Falcon Myth.
I'll be on Robert's channel tomorrow night. And I'm assuming not the following week because it's literally Thanksgiving. But I don't know.
Play like a champion.
I mean, listen,
True.
I was there in Disney and a hotel Wi-Fi, so I'll be around. I may be a little full of food because it'll just
That tryptophan, baby.
yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, we're doing all sorts of stuff. By the way, I have to wrap up, so I have not contacted the winners of the Dungeon Master's Guide giveaway. But I also have another Dungeon Master's Guide that I received in the mail